I am your keeper today, the tabletop operator himself, Ardent. For our newer listeners, Call of Cthulhu is the classic horror TTRPG, with the players as investigators in pulp adventures to investigate mysteries, always with a slight tinge of existential cosmic horror. This particular game is set in the world of Sunless Skies by Failbetter Games, a gothic horror world from the Fallen London franchise where Britain reigns supreme in a fictional, space-like world called the High Wilderness. Stay tuned for tea, crumpets, and possibly sacrifices of human flesh.
All right. So you guys have are trekking back. You're currently passing over the grassy hillock, walking through this sort of broken fence gate that, or I suppose it wasn't a gate, the broken hole that you made in the fence on your rather intense chase. You can still see some marks in the grass from your heavy footfalls, which kind of just make a very muddled zigzag around. And unfortunately, you can also see the patches where you all fell from the window. Either way, what are you guys discussing as you come up here?
Well,
What was that thing?
Whatever it was, it took an inhuman number of bullets.
you saw it,
True.
that bird, how it merely shrugged off our barrage. It seemed as if we're... Well, I can't say for sure what it was. Never seen anything like it. No. Of course, I've seen great beasts, but that was most definitely a beast in the shape of a man. What could that possibly want with these files? It's what I seek to find out by asking this Agent Davenport. Perhaps he could suggest a new course of action.
You might at least know someone in the area that would, or of something in the area that would be pertinent.
Indeed, I am a captain. I am no detective. So I will throw this his way. If we can find him, that is, we will begin looking for him.
Okay. So why don't you guys roll? I was gonna say roll a group luck check. Why don't we just have you guys roll spot hidden to see how long it takes for you to find him?
Everyone individually?
No. Let me just have let me have all the 4 people who are in the little search party there. So Shay, Hayes, or sorry, not Shay.
Hello.
Hayes, Yule, Keen, and Hamish, and obviously Keen has rolled rather poorly. Oh, I need to record the chat for the next episode. I forgot to do that this time. So yeah, the rest of you guys.
So I'm opening up Roll20.
I'm actually gonna ban you. This is it. This is the end.
I'm looking at Among guy still in the handouts.
Yeah, do you want me
You
to
could
get rid
say
of
that it's among the handouts.
You could.
I lose.
You could.
Oh, 58 out of 58 on the spot hidden.
The greatest. So you look at that. Oh yeah, don't forget to check off successful skills, by the way. Successful skill checks as always.
I still have
so
some
yeah.
checked off from last time. So yeah.
Hamish, roll yours. Or wait, did you?
It was hard success 14.
Okay, hard success. All right. So Hamish, you're all able to find him after not too much searching. You take a few cable cars around the reserve, and it's a rather like it's a bit of a panicked confusion as you pass through the otherwise idyllic scenery of the reserves. You cast glances at each other, mutter questions, and eventually, however, you do manage to find Mr. Davenport. As you spot him from one of the cable cars, his malachite green suit making him a bit of a distinctive feature on one of the trails below you. You take the cart to a stop, order the carriage driver, and make your way down to him. You thank your lucky stars that he is one of the slowest walkers you've ever met, unsurprisingly, given the fact that he has a cane. And eventually you manage to jog up to him amidst the muted greenery of the reserve. He notices you all. He notices the pattering of your feet far before you reach him, and sort of turns around and pauses as he looks behind him with his one good eye.
There has been a situation with a mycologist.
He raises an eyebrow.
I turn to
Let's
the
cut to
people
the chase,
who
shall
are,
we? It's a
who
bloody
are
murder.
close. Yeah. I turn to the people who are closer to her when it happened so they can explain it better because they saw it. I'll be like, my crewmates were much closer to the scene of the crime. They can provide you with the details, but I must regrettably inform that the murderer made off with the files regarding her research.
Davenport's face is a blank slate, to be sure, which is, of course, not uncommon as he furrows his brow. Interesting. Would you mind giving me the details of what happened?
Yes. Keen, tell him about his resilience.
You seem to
He
take
strokes his chin.
2 solid bullets to the back. I would think even one of those shots would fall a normal human, but apparently we have something else on our hands.
He nods, and
Aside from that, he was quite quick on his feet. We, of course, fell over.
Jumped the river down there.
Yes.
The long way in one leap.
We had practically
Impressive.
fell over ourselves chasing him. And, well, it seemed he left the heater on. Perhaps he intended to burn down the reserve to hide his evidence, but, well, now we can clearly see that.
I would imagine that there are faster ways to burn down a reserve. But in the Reach, I'd imagine your efforts would be met with marked resistance from the wild.
Yes. Well, in any case, do you have any leads that we could go off of for this little time of ours?
I'll let you know if I do.
Yes.
In the meantime, are you up for some... Well, I suppose this wouldn't be in your job description, but would you happen to be up for some detective work?
Well, I suppose since we're already pursuing this fellow, there's not
Makes
much to be
sense.
done. We'll be locked up in here. I mean, not locked up. I don't know how to. We'll be stuck here for a while until our transport arrives. So I suppose there's not much else to do but discern the whereabouts of this man while we are here, I suppose.
Yeah,
I should leave an additional note. It didn't seem like he was with the Tacides or had any affiliations. But that is all I can say, just from looking at him.
Davenport raises his eyebrow when he hears Hayes speak, evidently potentially expecting another lie to come out of your mouth.
I know that look, and I don't appreciate it. I was just gonna say that she had a big frickin' stab in the back. Is there anyone around here that sells knives?
I would
I
imagine that sold knives would not be hard to come by.
Yeah.
In a reserve full of scientists and surgeons, scalpel would not be difficult to find. What kind of knife? You said a larger wound?
Yeah, did I spot anything
One with,
distinctive about the knife? Because, I'm experienced with knives, so...
I believe it had an ivory handle, right?
Yes, it had a rather nice-looking ivory handle. let's see. Roll. You can roll your intellect, I suppose.
Okay. Let's see.
No roll.
Here we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
you're pretty
smoke.
sure. You're pretty sure the knife had some kind of small crossbar on it. Definitely one that would be more designed for actually stabbing someone or something of that nature, rather than just a kitchen knife or something. Although with an ivory handle, it'd have to be a pretty damn fancy kitchen knife. But no, this is certainly a bit more of an insidious type of knife.
Yeah, well, it was definitely a knife for killing, and fancy one of that.
Well, I am not a reserve native, so I'm not sure that I'm the best person to ask, but as far as I know, there are not any of that nature. You may have to search somewhat deeper for that.
Hmm.
He also turned
any
into a
case-
buggering monster. Did we mention that? Like 8 feet tall.
He he kind of gives a slight smile. I believe that you did mention that when you began. Do you have any details on this monster?
Well, as we had already stated, he could withstand gunshots. And he seemed to swell in size in response to this. How do you say it? He seemed to swell in response to receiving physical trauma.
Hardened,
I'm
you
not
could say.
sure. Yes. It seemed. Don't fuck with this senator. It seemed as though he, aside from his resilience, I'm not really sure we could call it a he, for it was so obscured
Rather
by that coat
presumptuous.
about him that we could not discern who or what this thing was. It took on the vague form of a human, but it is clearly something more.
I mean, we could check for creatures that walk on 2 legs. Reserve probably has some.
I don't think any wear coats.
They could easily put a coat on one. Allowed.
Well, if you think that it's a likely prospect, then feel free. Otherwise, I'll bid you to get some rest. I have my own business to attend to. However, I will, I suppose, make what preparations I can. This research is, of course, much of the reason why I'm here
Of course.
at this point. Perhaps not initially, but it's become something of an issue, I suppose. Now, that being said, he kind of gives you all a very scrutinizing look, and you all kind of pause for a moment as his gaze passes over you. It's definitely a very unnatural feeling. Not that there's any kind of supernatural power to it. However, it's that same gaze as before, that same sort of empty calmness, that strange empty bliss. But it doesn't feel good to have his eyes directed at you and playing over you. Can I have you guys roll an appearance check, please? Each of you.
Time to
Oh,
fail this.
His
That's a
gaze got
thing
him
we have.
acting
Wow.
Sorry, an appearance check?
Yes.
Okay,
Wow.
So appearance time, I guess.
Wow, you guys are just really. Oh, we should like drastically lower Hamish's appearance. I forgot about that. But we should probably make a note of that.
Hayes' appearance should also be not so great, but I couldn't downgrade it.
What do you mean you couldn't downgrade it?
I mean, I figured that the 40 would be more appropriate for education than it was for appearance.
Okay, that's fair. We can always like edit them, I believe. I don't think there's any rule that's gonna be like, no, you can't, you can't change this. But yeah, I'll GM fiat it. Okay, and then that's all of you. And he kind of gives you his gaze mercifully comes off of you, or his scrutiny, you suppose. Aja, it lingers on you for somewhat longer. And of course, I assume that I can trust you to have no part in this.
No
Of
part
course.
in this? Of course.
Good.
Believe me.
Because I cannot help but notice that one of your number is missing. And that wouldn't happen to be connected, would it?
Oh yeah, that guy. Now he's
run off to. I'm not sure.
hanging
My
around.
crewmates recall.
And fuck all.
If it helps, we can seek him out. I've been meaning to have a word with him as well.
Interesting. Did you know that almost 30% of all murders are reported by the person who did the deed?
Well, he's self-reported. I'm sorry.
No.
That's a little sussy.
No.
He smiles. Just his thin half smile. You'll have to excuse me for professional scrutiny.
Of course. These are.
Bold to accuse another member of the ministry. Is it not?
I've seen some heated politics in my time, shall we say.
Fair enough.
You're perhaps more young, but do not mistake that London can be just as cutthroat as everyone else.
Well, I can assure you, Mr. Davenport, that your scrutiny is understandable. We do live in suspicious times, and perhaps it does warrant wariness, but I will assure you that this party, while as rough as any other crew of sailors, is not. It is above such skullduggery. We would not stoop to such levels. We have, and from a pragmatic standpoint, we have no motivation to do so. We had no interest in the research insofar as it was a vehicle for our pay. So you do not need to place your suspicion upon us.
Hamish tries to nod cordially, and he tries to look not weird, but it's kind of hard to look not weird when you're like, you have a deranged look in your eye and like are covered in bandages. But he's trying his best. He's trying his best.
Yeah, luckily none of our party members would try to skim anything off the top or get a little more than what they were paid for.
Or lie at all. Like,
none of our party members would do that. None of them would have a remote interest in, selling
I mean,
anything.
Ooh.
You're not criminals, right?
I would never stoop
Absolutely
so
not.
low.
Yeah, it's not like
illegal.
it's not like Hadja and Hayes and
okay.
Anyway,
Okay.
So
we need to name names here.
let's go from here. So you, I assume are, or actually, I suppose I won't assume. What's your next course of action?
Well,
What do we do, Captain?
You know,
Did any of us take help?
Tracks? What do you need?
As your captain, I must strive to be candid at all times. And I will be very candid here. I don't know shit about detective work. So, if any of you have expertise in sleuthing and slinking, then step forth. I wish to hear it.
I would say I know a thing or two.
I can sneak
Then-
around and be good at seeing stuff, but none too smart.
Well, worry not. We are greater than the sum of our parts. Hazed with your keenness and stealth, and keen with your also keenness and gun. We will prevail over this strange mystery that befalls us.
Hamish seems to see people in terms of black and white, depending as stealthy and not stealthy, and gun or no gun.
Yeah.
Well, I know a thing or two about detective work. Excellent. With your stealth and gun.
My stealth and gun combined, I can take on any task.
Big. All right.
Quite large.
So you
Before-
guys headed... Oh, sorry.
We strike forth. Perhaps we must also speak. Well, I'm not so sure Leadbeater and Stainrod has what you might call authorities or law enforcement, but perhaps others should be alerted that a murderer is about. However, I am apprehensive about this. I realize notifying authorities may publicize this event, and perhaps the murderer may catch wind of this and act more quickly. I am not sure. You see, I am new to these things.
Yeah, it seems like a bad
Well, I
idea to me.
certainly, don't like the prospects of that. Going public right now doesn't seem like our best bet.
I
In my
mean,
experience, it's best to do these sorts of things ourselves. Yes.
not like there's a naked axe murderer in the woods. It's obviously someone you know he's going to kill.
Indeed. Perhaps it is merely pertinent to return to the site of the crime, and there he can sniff footprints and lick dirt and other detective things to locate and discern this man's whereabouts,
Of course.
if he can be called as such. So let us return, I suppose.
All right.
If you so wish.
So, Davenport makes his way off, or has probably already made his way off by now, since you weren't really talking to him. So you head over to your boat or ship. I don't know why I said boat. You head over to your ship. You hitch another cable car, fly through the reserve one more time, and get off at the docking bay. Now, you all return to the ship, and as you're doing so, you note one particular crew member has returned. Has made a triumphant return after his short rest cure. And Shay, what are you doing as you're sitting here by the ship, maybe waiting?
I should also note Hamish is unrecognizable, so if you were to see him, you would not
Okay.
know it was him.
Probably just like, I don't know, drinking.
Okay, just doing a good old fashioned, a classic,
Normal
really.
things.
Yeah.
Just drinking. What are you
Got a
drinking?
bottle in one hand. I don't know, some whiskey.
Whiskey. All right, classic.
Awesome.
So Hamish, he raises his now. Well, he doesn't really have eyebrows anymore, but if he did, he would be raising them, and he'll turn to the rest of the crew, and the expression on his face is not one of malice or anger, but
Pure
a man who has
rage.
found his next prank victim. He has this sickening, gross smile as he eyes him, and then it's like if this were our world, he would be lifting like a camera and zooming in on Shay and be like, new
found him.
prank victim.
Oh no, I hate that so much.
And nothing about the potential person who killed you, or well, quote unquote, killed you.
He'll turn to
I mean,
his crew and be
He
like,
clearly didn't finish the job. No.
We must tie up this loose end. Ensure that unfinished business is settled. You approach him first. I will join shortly thereafter, and leave me with him, and I will have a talk with him.
About what, Captain? Or, I guess.
A normal talk of normal matters. You see, it has been months, perhaps. It feels as if it has been months since we have last seen each other. There's much to discuss.
Keen
Wait,
will
month?
settle up beside Aja. You best not stop the captain on this one.
I suppose it must happen.
Men hold their grudges.
he begins coughing. Hamish begins coughing and like tapping the scabbard of his sword. He kind of like goes off to the side, but like with his back turned to Shay. As he has encouraged you guys to do, he has asked that you approach him and greet him first.
Ah, okay. Well, I guess we shall then.
All right. All of you,
We
I
walk up
suppose,
to
are in
the
agreement, or
boy?
do you want to? Okay. So you guys all walk up to Shay as like this big collective, wide walking. Someone's mic is freaking out, by the way. Wait,
Is it mine?
Yeah,
That's not
someone
mine.
just got a bunch of feedback going.
Is that from
Is it
Roll20?
Could be.
It shouldn't be.
No, it's not.
Everyone else hears it though, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
it just stopped.
I don't.
At least for
I only
me.
heard like some white noise. Honestly, that was it.
Huh, how strange.
I mean, I hear the music.
I mean, yeah, it was white noise. Is it from? Okay, whatever. Weird. Okay, I'm just like staring at the chat, waiting to see whose mic. Oh, it's from Hayes. It's from your mic. Something's making it a little staticky.
Oh,
I think.
Oh man, I probably have. Damn it, I'm calling in from my laptop, and it's
Oh, it might be your fans.
yeah, it's
Okay.
the fan.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know.
That's unfortunate.
I guess do what you can, but yeah, it wasn't happening earlier, so maybe if you moved it at all, then
If you close all your programs.
Could be
Well, I think
echoing
that's-
off the wall? Question mark.
yeah, that's how. All right, it's fine. If it works, it works, but otherwise, don't sweat it too much. It's not like mind-bogglingly destructive.
I'll figure something out.
All right, sweet. You all approach Shay, who's just kind of like sitting there drinking, and he's like, "Oh shit, everyone's here." And what are you guys gonna say?
Well, hello.
A little trolling.
Good
The one
day.
person-
Oh yeah, you don't recognize this guy, by the way.
Who's this?
Here, I'll show you the handout right there. He's dressed rather sharply.
Oliver Keane from the Ministry. I'm here to audit the crew as to the event and investigate the events of Hybris. That's a little bit of a dent
ministry boy, I see.
there. Yep.
That's fine. Just don't get in our way.
Oh, of course. I'll leave you to all the dirty things you do up there, the sky.
That's what I do.
The rest of you, Aja.
Who's the guy in the bandages? He looks like he got into a fight with a particularly nasty cat or something.
Yeah, fought down a
Who's
burning
that?
building.
Is
So
Hey, Bela, maybe.
Hamish slowly turns, and it's like the eyes do the lens flare, And he begins to approach very casually and calmly, and he slowly begins to sit near he begins to sit near Shay, and he just says, "Do you recognize my voice?"
Do I? Does he sound different?
I mean, he sounds a little off, if you ask me. Just like from my own hearing perspective. But it's up to you. If you'd like to roll, like listen.
No, like meta wise. Like
Meta wise, I
is
think
it
he
supposed
sounds.
to be?
I think he sounds a little off. Yeah.
It'll be a little bit hoarser,
Yeah.
but you can still hear. I don't know. It depends. You might have to roll, but it's just a little hoarser, but it's still Hamish.
I'll roll. I'll roll. Hold up.
Okay.
Okay. If you fail the roll, then you will not know it is him.
You can probably
I
roll
would
with a
say.
That'd be
bonus
pretty
dice 'cause
funny.
shit,
Yeah.
paranoid.
Yeah.
Kinda got me.
All right, where's listen?
I'd buy it if he didn't understand who it was. It's like, okay,
I
so
don't
if
have
you
the slightest clue. I'm sorry.
Well, perhaps it's a hoarseness of my voice or my strange visage. But he who sits before you is your captain. You
Okay,
see.
I kind of like freak out and I just punch him.
Okay.
Big plays.
All right. So you just you
Holy
just swing your
fucking
fist
Christ!
and
You're supposed to be dead.
Hamish, do you wanna
Everybody
fight back or
run!
dodge? Or
he begins
neither?
like laughing.
Well, hold on. You have to decide if you want to
Gotta get hit first.
Oh, roll fight. Okay, roll fight. Let me.
Do you
let
want to
me.
fight
Let
back
me.
or do you want to dodge?
Let me. Sure. Actually, let me try to. Okay. So roll. What do I roll again?
Do you want to
Fight
fight
back
back
or dodge?
I think I will try to dodge. Well, actually,
Okay, then
yeah,
roll
I'll
your
try to
dodge.
dodge. Okay, dodge.
And if there's a tie, then yours. Oh, never mind. All right. So Shay, can you roll your damage, please?
Yeah, how do I do that again?
It's gonna be 1 plus your damage bonus. It should be at least.
What's my damage?
1d4. So you're gonna roll 1d4 plus 1, basically. What do we got? Okay,
Max
5. All right,
damage.
so he slams you across the face, Hamish, for 5 damage, which is quite a hefty toll.
Okay.
And then what?
He won't draw his weapon. He won't do anything. He'll simply cough
Better.
and like kind of groan a bit in agony and be like,
Well, perhaps I will not be alive once more so long after that punch. You swung well. But I did not mean to alarm you. I am simply here to have a talk.
I just have like
Perhaps
my
it-
nose tucked under my shirt to like ward off the fucking mushrooms. and shit.
Nice.
Perhaps
Just like
it
no
would
risks here.
reassure you to know that no fungi attaches itself to my person. And perhaps it would reassure you more if I were to discard my blade.
and he takes out his sword and puts it aside, and he kind of raises his hand to show that he's not going to bear any weapons.
Okay.
I thought you were reduced to bloody chunks.
Indeed. And whose fault might that be?
Mine.
kind
You were
of
trying to kill me. What do you expect me to do?
Me? Trying to kill you?
I'm gonna turn to the rest
Shouldn't
of the
have said that
crew
one.
and be like,
Tell me! Did I fly into a rage? Did I attempt to strike him down? Yes, I did seem to have a bit of a... well, rant at him, but... well, I don't seem to recall raising my blade. I seem to recall lapsing into unconsciousness. I seem to recall beasts of these wild fungi forests striking me dead. And who was it who landed the final strike, I wonder? Help me recollect. I turn to Hayes and Adja.
I turned to them too. I was like, "Yeah, tell me. My memory is like fuck."
Like like meta game, you don't remember, or
No, like
okay,
in character,
okay,
because my brain was addled by the mushrooms.
fair enough.
That does make sense.
Well, what's
Okay,
your
what do
response?
you say?
Wait, sorry. What was the exact question?
He helped me recollect what happened. What took place? Was Hamish the
What-
one who struck towards him?
Well, we were all running. I didn't really catch it clearly, but it just looked like you started shooting at everyone, at the zombies, at us, at Hamish. We were just running. I thought you knew.
Perhaps this warrants the voice of another witness. Hayes, what exactly happened?
Wait, hold on. Meta, didn't one of them like use Hamish as a human shield?
Yes, that is Hayes. And Hamish doesn't know that, actually.
Yeah, and I think this is the moment of truth for Hayes here, to see how he answers. So
turn.
Hayes, what's your response?
The
Oh,
wild
jeez.
look in Hamish's eye is definitely very evident right now.
Fumble with the microphone.
Yeah, sorry. I was in the other room trying to get the fan turned off. Oh man,
Oh yeah.
gotta think about this.
Careful answer here, buddy.
We'll say that probably in game it probably doesn't take him this long to think, but
Yeah.
unless you
It's-
want him to.
Just like a moment, so it's like, But yeah, I can say it. Yeah, I mean, up to him though, I guess. I'm at Burger King with my Burger Queen.
I'm an alligator.
I'm a mama papa coming for you.
I'm blue, da ba dee da ba da, da ba dee da ba da.
I am
Big.
Iron.
I hid behind you. So Jay was going to shoot me, and I hid behind you. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault. Someone was going to die. I thought you were already dead. It wasn't my
Why
fault.
were you dragging around a corpse?
Seems like good enough reason as any.
I don't know.
Well, he wasn't dead yet, right?
I thought he said.
Trying to
I thought he
save him.
said he thought it was dead.
I
don't know. People can be confused during these sorts of times.
Oh, that's what I am.
It wasn't my
Confused
fault.
as hell.
Well, I will give you a chance to explain your side of the story. Exactly what came to pass? What did you see, Jay?
To be honest, I'm not quite sure. There was some mushrooms, and then some gang or something. I don't know.
Hamish is going to roll. I mean, I know meta, he's telling the truth, but Hamish is going to roll to see if he's telling the truth.
Okay.
Oh, also, by the way,
So that's like insight,
So
right?
that would be psychology. There's no insight skill.
Oh, right. We're not Virgin 5e, I guess.
Well, I'm pretty sure
Joking.
most forms of systems have insight as the skill, but no, Call of Cthulhu is psychology.
Wow, I have some.
You could spend luck or push it.
Wait, what did I roll? For some reason, it's not letting me click the chat box.
Well, you got a 12.
12 out of
versus
10.
10.
Okay,
Wait, no.
okay.
Do you even have any luck?
I have
Uh,
no
Right,
luck.
yeah, so you can't luck
no
it, but you could
balls.
push it if you want.
Yeah, I'll try to
But
push it.
Okay. I was gonna say if you fail this, you're probably gonna very much disbelieve this. So yeah, you think that this is a pretty bullshit excuse that doesn't really make sense. Why there were definitely no gangsters there. It sounds like he's lying.
Weird. Okay, well, I don't know. Hamish it just gets more confused. He's just like, gangsters. Why do you say gangsters? We were in the middle of a blasted wilderness. How could
There were
there
also
be?
hallucinogenic mushrooms, so that might have been it.
Go on.
Tends to do
That
things to a
is
person.
definitely possible.
How was... This will perhaps help more. Aja, how was Shay acting when you had seen him toting about his shotgun? According to you, firing on others.
Pretty clearly weird. I don't think he was in his right mind. I mean, he clearly does not remember.
Remember what? I'm so confused.
You shot the guy, the captain.
Oh.
Wait, I thought you knew.
All right. Well, now I mean,
Well, when I
Hamish
came
was.
to, he was just like bloody giblets on the ground. I don't know.
Well, it appears it was
It happened.
your shotgun that did that. So
Oh well, I'm sorry, bruh.
The ancient sailor speak.
So
I'm
so
sorry.
all Mer's
Hamish
gonna
was
be
like
visibly disappointed. by the lack
doubtful.
Sorry, bro.
of interesting things here.
Well, the doubtful. He was initially
God.
doubtful as to what was going on, but Hamish simply says, he simply reaches down to pick up his sword. He puts it back in his belt, and he's like,
And then he draws it and cuts him like
yeah,
Jitru
yeah,
Sam.
no, yeah, he doesn't. He just says,
Well,
Shay, which of your eyes is your favorite? I'm right. Great.
it seems that despite the seeking of closure, I only obtain more confusion. I can only assume that the fungus had such an effect on our minds and bodies that we could not even fathom. But, well, there is nothing else to be done. Indeed, I live again, Shay, like Lazarus. And therefore, I call
How
upon
though?
ye again.
How? How'd you survive?
Hamish kind of thinks for a moment.
I only remember the vaguest of sensations. I only remember a soothing warmth. But when I had come to, the warmth had become less soothing, as I had seen that the forest was ablaze around me. And I staggered out, covered myself in bandages, and awaited the arrival of, well, anyone to that forsaken place. Seems that all that would arrive was the ship belonging to a most eccentric man. And it was with his help that I had left that blasted hellhole and arrived back here at Leadbeater and Stainrod.
Eccentric man.
Yes, he was accompanied by, it would seem, a devil. And the engine of this ship was faster than any I had ever seen in my lifetime. But it was by his means that we arrived here, and perhaps in some sense I am indebted to him.
Hayes is gonna walk over to
I
Hamish.
just kind of like look over to them and is like, what the fuck?
Hayes is gonna walk over to Hamish and kind of put his hand on his shoulder and go, I'm sorry, Captain. We're glad you're back.
Well,
Indeed. I think
perhaps
we cannot let
I-
this experience tear us apart, yes? Those mushrooms were terrible, but we
I
survived.
had no intention of tearing anyone apart, even if my menacing visage seemed to make it seem as if I had other intentions. No, I only intended to clear things up, of course. Well, in any case, it matters not. If I have returned, it is for a reason, and I can only assume that reason is to continue my humble profession. And therefore, I call upon Shay once more to join the crew, because there is yet more nonsense to be worked through and more coin to be earned, and, well, an extra pair of hands is always needed.
I just kind of shrug. Like, okay.
Very well.
As long as
Now,
I'm getting paid.
I will ask one of you to fill him in on the situation, but for now, we will continue our little endeavor.
And I assume we can just abstract the people recapping to Shay
Yeah.
what we're
Yeah.
going to do, and then we can just head on our way. But yeah,
Yeah. Head on your way where?
to back to the site of the murder where we will
Okay.
conduct the
Are you going to
investigation.
get some rest first? Because a lot of
Sure,
you guys
sure.
have suffered some damage, and
Yeah.
Hamish
Yeah, I was
technically-
gonna ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get some rest first. But yeah, I guess the last thing I will describe is you're kind of weirded out by the fact that Hamish is like unusually casual about all this. But yeah, your captain, I'll just describe for Lil because this is the first time he saw him, I guess. Or second, I don't know. But it's like, yeah, he looks really fucked up. Like, you're not sure how he held together after you blasted him like that. And also, he's been burned by the fire that you guys started. So, he literally looks like a dead man walking. He occasionally coughs and grunts in pain. There's like tatters and bandages all over him. He looks like he looks really fucked up. So you have no idea how he's still around, and you have no idea why he's so weirdly nonchalant about you accidentally killing him. You kind of expect, maybe, I don't know what you expect, but he definitely seems really nonchalant. But that's basically it. And there is he definitely seems a bit loopier. Let's just say dying probably didn't do favors for his mental state. But he's still your captain. He's still your captain. Mostly normal. Mostly normal.
Mostly normal.
But,
Okay.
Orders of normal, Captain. Please.
No.
Okay.
Can't
Sorry,
get that.
normal captain machine broke.
That sucks. All right. So, you guys get a solid rest. I'm assuming you guys want to make your first aid checks right around now.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah. How does that work?
For those of you who sustained damage, someone can perform first aid on you to regain 1 hit point for you.
Yep. Does anyone actually have first aid here? Because my medicine is 1. Or wait, first aid's a different thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think I have some.
Yeah, I think Shay has like a 30 or something like that.
44.
44.
Or more still.
It's probably not
so
your
yeah, you gotta
language.
do it for each person. So that one we can say is 4/roll 1d4. That
mine
one
is
we can
also
say
30.
is for Hayes. So Hayes, unfortunately, you've failed.
That
First aid check for you.
that's fine because I have full HP.
Oh, okay, never mind. Well, you're good. Then, Shay, do you want to roll the 3 first aid checks for everyone else? We'll just go down in order that I have them on the character.
Hayes needs some.
Not Hayes, you mean Keen.
Oh wait, Keen, yeah. You'd be.
So, Shay, you're going to want to roll 3 more first aid checks. Or perhaps not.
Nope. No dice.
I suppose not. All right, then I can roll them for you, I guess. Bop, bop. Josephu Shay. First aid 1, 2, 3. Wow. All right. Okay. Well, on the bright side, at least Hamish, you regain 1 hit point.
Okay,
the
better
rest
than
of you,
nothing.
oh well, sorry about that. If you have someone with medical tools, which you do not really, you could get more healing with a medicine check. However, you are sitting in the middle of a nature reserve, so it's possible that you could try to find someone here. Not sure how much time you want to spend on that though. About to
Yeah.
die.
I mean, I'll leave it up to you guys. I mean, I mean, I'm not trying to mitigate, but also this does seem like the kind of session where it doesn't seem like that much combat's going to happen. That's just my guess, though. So that's why I'm not too concerned about healing right now. But if you guys think, oh, all of us should be completely healed, completely, then you know, like then you can go do that. I'm not too concerned. I think it's fine. 7 health, I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine. I'll walk it off. But yeah.
Sure.
Oh, of course. I can make. Wait, we probably need more first aid. I can roll it as well. Is that okay, Mr. DM?
Oh, sorry, I'm muted. Every single time you take damage, you have 2 chances to recover hit points. One is for first aid. Either you succeed or you fail it. 2, when there's someone who has an hour and access to medical tools, they can perform a medicine check to regain you, I believe, 1d3 hit points.
I don't know if we have access to medicine tools, but I can make first aid on myself, maybe, or just whoever's lowest.
No, Shay already rolled first aid for everyone.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You might have missed that. I'm pretty sure he also has the highest first aid, unless I'm mistaken. Do you have
Mine
higher
is
than-
30 as well.
Yeah, his is
Okay.
44.
Oh wait, no, his is 44. I see.
Mhm.
My bad.
No worries. So, that being said, you are of course on a nature reserve, so there's a lot of scientists around. Maybe if you're lucky, you could find a particularly intrepid scientist willing to do some surgery and maybe put in some stitches. Of course, how good these scientists are will be a bit of a
Also,
luck base, but we'll see. What were you saying?
Awesome.
I said how good they were would be a bit of a toss up.
Yeah, a toss up.
Yeah.
I thought you said awesome, so I was like, what? Okay, so yeah, that's an option if you'd like. Otherwise, yeah, it's up to you.
Yeah. Also, you may want. I don't know if you want to continue the music, but if you do, just a
Oh.
reminder.
Sorry, John, hungry for Sunless Skies music.
It is good music.
There we go. So then I suppose you guys are off after getting a solid rest. A few minutes.
Oh, one thing I wanted to
yes.
do during the rest period.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go to Hamish and just quickly ask. So I know this probably wasn't top of mind, but when you died, I laid a couch on top of you, and it was important to me. I was wondering if you knew what happened to it.
Coat. Well, I suppose it did keep me warm. Well, as for the coat, I must say I am sorry, lad. When I awoke, there was naught but ash and rags upon me. I'm
Yeah,
afraid that it must have been consumed or badly burnt by the flame.
I thought as much. Alright, thank you.
Yeah, somewhere in your mind you think that maybe it's for the better from the fungus, but you're not sure. Your undergarments were, of course, tainted with it anyways. So, is there anything else you guys want to do before your final set out into a little bit of a murder investigation?
Um,
I think murder investigation
we're
is the
going.
play.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of fun. All right.
Right.
So, is there anything you guys would like to take with you on your way?
Okay. I don't. This is a nature reserve. It doesn't really have like forensics kits or anything like that, right? And I mean, it's also vaguely Victorian, so I don't even know if forensics kits exist. So
Well,
we
a
might
lot
just
of modern
kinda have to-
forensics was developed around the 1920s. So most of it is not terribly common. Like fingerprinting is not really a thing. Not to mention the fact that the perpetrator was wearing gloves, as you saw. But of course, like DNA testing is not going to work, even though there's some blood from them. You're not really going to be able to test that or anything. But yeah. Up to
Well,
you.
So
I
is it
think the
possible
one
to
thing.
track them?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is it possible to track them?
Yeah, so you guys tracked him all the way up to the edge of the reserve wall. So you could be able to scale it and track them, but that would have to be probably later, yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
it could be done. Tracking is a skill. It's also a very difficult skill. Let me just
Yeah.
make it clear. But yeah.
And
All
also, we left that for the day. Perhaps we could ask around somewhere, see if they know something, but I don't know.
Yes, that may be prudent. So
Quick
let us
question:
do
how
so.
much are we getting paid for this?
How much? Meta. How much did Davenport say he'd pay us again?
Do you remember him saying anything yet?
I don't remember him saying anything about. All I know is that he was gonna be paying us well because usually the crown pays well. So yeah.
He has not said anything. Might be something to ask.
I'll like think for a moment and just say,
Davenport has promised a hefty sum. He didn't specify these matters yet,
Real
but
fast talk.
but he did promise a hefty sum. Yes.
Okay then.
Seems acceptable. Okay. So you all pack up, head out, and you're off. So you hitch a couple cable carts. Oliver sends out a bat with some message attached to it. Right before you head out, his bat Queenie, as you may recall, whom
the
I
fat
suppose
one.
some of you may have remembered or may have met.
The fat one, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's honestly remarkable that it manages to stay in the sky, but it seems to do a good job of it. So maybe it just really uses those calories up. You're not sure. It's a strange bat, but then again, so is everything in the skies. And once again, you reach to the cabin. So, of course, it is on that same small hillock overlooking the swamps of the reserve. Fungal greenhouse to the left. Let's see. The panes upon it shine iridescent from both the reflecting starlight within as well as the various glass-bound fungal excrescences, which by now have become a very familiar sight, unfortunately so. Beside the greenhouse rests an empty wheelbarrow, and the bronzewood door gleams invitingly, evidently freshly waxed. You step in. You do note that there is sort of a perimeter that's almost been set up. It's more so just that someone's put a rope up around this place, and outside you see Davenport's friend from before, who Shay you haven't met. But I can give you the description again if you guys need it.
Sure.
And he's smoking a rather large cigar. And looking very, very dour. Yes. So
Is
his
that the
face is
noise he makes?
crisscrossed. No, his face is crisscrossed
Oh.
with bruises and battle scars, and a nose crooked in 3 different ways. Instead of an eye patch, he has a leather cover bound to the entirety of his right eye, covering eye socket all the way down to cheekbone, or past cheekbone rather. There's no straps. It's strange that it manages to hold into place, but there is a faint something that must be holding it there. His coat makes a much more interesting staring piece, as you figure he will take umbrage to such attention at his likely disfigurement. It is another piece in and of itself, a tattered officer's coat damaged by cold. Curiously, it is adorned with tackety metals. With the cold, you imagine he may be from somewhere up north. The nameplate upon it is scratched out, however. The man sort of notices you with his good eye as you approach, but doesn't really pay you any heed. He just kind of like turns away, evidently not interested in conversation. But you could strike it up if you're really looking for it.
Well, yes, I will.
The door
approach
is
him.
the door appears to be open, but yeah. So Hamish, you decide to approach him.
We are here on Davenport's behalf to assist in this investigation in any way we can. We were here when she was murdered. So, if you have any questions, we will provide them. I mean, we will provide answers.
If we
No
can.
more problem. Davenport's
Oh, sorry.
inside.
Wait, sorry, can you say
what
that
was
again?
that again?
Not my problem. Davenport's inside. It's up to you.
All right, so
Takes a
Davenport's
drag.
inside. Okay.
Yes,
Then
his
we
accent
will-
is very difficult to understand. He speaks in a very low voice.
I will
yes.
motion for the rest to follow and approach Davenport. And
Unless- Someone else wants to say anything. But yes, then you can
Yeah.
continue.
We're good.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be silent here, I think.
All right. So he kind of motions with his hand, which leads to a sort of slight tingling sound as the metals on his coat clack together, jingle together, and you give him a slight nod and head inside. You're not sure what it is about him, but something is off. Much in the same way as Davenport. So perhaps the entire ministry they're from is just a group of strange men, but not yours to worry about.
Weird ones, politicians.
So you all head inside, and for some reason I can't find the description, even after all of that. Yes, the walls of the Bronzewood study have been cleaned since your first visit, no longer slick with fungal residue. The tea kettle has mercifully been turned off by now, and that aside, the study is exactly as you left it, disheveled with 5 chairs before the desk. You imagine the greenhouse is also preserved in its same grisly state. Davenport crouches to the ground beside the greenhouse door, evidently ready to put down some kind of a placard, but pauses. Freshly waxed. Unlikely any boot marks would be visible. He grimaces as he stands back up with the help of his jet black cane. With a
Hello?
rinse of pain, he dusts off and notices you, or returns to you, rather. You're here. Excellent. He steps across the room with the help of his cane. I, of course, have a bit of a favor to ask from you. I'll make sure that you are compensated in the event of a successful undertaking here. Unfortunately, my same matters that I've been troubled with have been, well, they still plague me. But I will be available to what extent I can, should you require it, and I will let you know if I learn anything about the investigation.
Of course.
That said, this must remain top secret.
Understood.
One thing,
Of course.
Mr. Davin, as you can see,
He
we
kind
are.
of half smiles at your vague attempt at politeness. I don't even know if it is.
We I don't know about you, but we don't really seem like much of the detective type.
Well, unfortunately, I can't be giving details of everything out to just everyone. I'd rather keep it within a rather more confined circle, and both me and my partner have places to be.
Okay, yes, that is all well and all, but how do you really expect us to, like, we obviously are not equipped for this kind of undertaking.
Well, Hamish will look at Keen and just say, "Well, hopefully he is. We will be primarily relying on his expertise for this little operation."
Well, yeah.
And like Hamish like looks expectantly at Keen like, "You better hard carry us here, bro."
Well, then,
I can provide you with some of the knowledge you'll need, I'm sure.
sky sailors are social creatures. I'd imagine that you can find something here. I will say that, from my experience, it's far more likely that it's somebody that she knew than some kind of a stranger.
Oh yeah, it's
In any case, asking
Did he just
around
call
would
us
be best.
creatures? I don't know
He
if
said
anyone
there's some
else.
than some stranger. He didn't call you creatures.
not the thing I'm
Someone
good
that she
at.
knew.
Talking.
We should
Love talking.
talk to perhaps.
Well, I'm sure you'll get used to it soon
someone
enough.
else.
Perhaps start with a list of suspects, and in the meantime, I do have perhaps a lead or two for you.
Great.
He pulls some thin film out from his coat pocket. He kind of has this small satchel that he pulls or not even really a satchel. It's just kind of a sheath that he pulls out two thin films, and they appear to be kind of well, they're very unique for you guys. Meta, you would probably recognize these a little more easily, but they appear to be almost very thin powdered prints of a glove pattern.
Oh. He's
You
handing these
found
to us?
these at the site.
Yes, he's handing them to you.
Okay.
They appear to be a sort of leather-ish pattern. There's an emergent field in forensics. Glove prints. Every single kind of glove leaves some kind of unique mark. Perhaps this will be useful. Most people
Okay.
wouldn't have access to the materials to gather this, but luckily I happen to have some from previous undertakings.
Right.
I kind of look around and it's like, does anybody have expertise with gloves?
Well,
I
you should
again look at
No, but
Keen.
perhaps we could find someone.
I'm
I
sure
don't
you'll be
think
able to
you'll
match
need-
them or something.
Yes, expertise. You should be able to compare them should you find any candidates. Finally,
well
we may have another lead, but that one may take. Well, I'll have Abner explain that one to you. He says, and he steps out. Give me a minute to get him to move. And he kind of waves his hand and in a sort of showing motion, like, take it away. So the study avails itself to you in much the same state as you left it. It's up to you to investigate as you please.
Okay.
And of course, I will again reiterate Davenport's advice of ensuring that you keep a good handle on clues and try to find a list of suspects.
Indeed.
And also avoid letting anyone else know about this.
Yes.
Yep.
So we're telling everyone about it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Well, we could split up, follow these different leads.
Oh, split
Build
the
together.
party, split the
Oh.
party. Okay.
This glove thing
It's
is
fine.
interesting.
over
We should
at the
probably talk
ministry,
to the
dude.
people she knows.
I look at the ministry. It's like, hey, ministry boy,
Hmm?
I do the punching, you do the thinking.
Sure.
I'm like thinking, wow, we have a lot of punchers in this
We
group.
better, well,
Yeah.
Stab
Don't
it.
worry, anyone can be made to think,
Oh,
but
stop.
yes. Let's make an important distinction here. I mean, come on, you're just letting
Out
everybody-
of your friends, which are you? The puncher, the
Three,
thinker, the
Trip.
stabber.
I like stabbing.
Okay. Where are we going first on this?
I don't know.
Let's go.
Okay.
I mean, I say we go talk to our friends. I mean, not going to get anywhere even if we get a fingerprint or whatever that is.
We might have a lead if we go back to see where this thing was shot and whether or not they
I say we ransack all of the researchers' gloves.
Yeah, it seems like a good idea.
look at him questioningly.
Let's do that.
I don't know. Perhaps
Can
we
look
can just
through them?
literally ask the people she knows instead of stealing. I feel like we can
Well,
do this.
yeah, that's what I
in a
said.
lot.
Let's go talk to him.
All right.
Remember the whole part
Quite
about being
just
Hurry now. Not
tight-lipped.
tarry for long. I mean, like we can just say we're investigating her death, but I mean, okay. Let me consider this. Just meta. I'm gonna ask you, Aiden. Do they like when they say be tight-lipped about this? Do they mean like don't even talk about her death? Like like absolutely nothing gets out about this, or
Likely more about the files.
just the
that were
files,
actually
just the
stolen.
file. He means the files more.
I think you can say that Aja says he probably means the files, and I will meta say that yes, he means more so the files. He doesn't. I mean, it's pretty obvious that she's dead, or it would be pretty
Yeah.
obvious to her associates.
Yeah.
In due time.
All right.
Other than that, your discretion about how many details you reveal is totally up to you.
Right. Well,
And of
we'll
course, it's
just
not like
not
you'll
talk
be
about-
prosecuted for it, but who knows what'll happen.
we'll just be semi-careful, but we will say, okay, this is for an investigation, and I know that Shay wanted to ransack the glove, so we can just be like, look, since this is important investigation business, we'll.
Continue.
Nothing. Since we wanted to ransack the glove, we can just tell them, hey, this is important investigation business. So we need your gloves.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Everything's okay.
All right, sweet.
If someone watches the recording, no one's gonna know why I'm laughing.
Yeah, I suppose it's up to you guys how you
Right,
how you want
of course.
to
Oh no.
do this.
Mhm.
So, you guys, what's your plan?
Well, I say we go find maybe her relatives. Maybe she has some relatives around here.
I think colleagues would be more useful.
Colleagues. That's true.
Colleagues might have a better grip on it, yes.
He was talking to that guy with the beard, the one looking at a mythical bird or something.
Oh yes, he was very up in arms about this.
The
man.
ornithologist?
This ornithologist. He was furious about him. I suppose we can speak to him.
Oh, that does seem about right.
I mean, my guess is they have some history, so seems like a good start.
Yes.
Yeah, so as you're discussing this, Davenport comes back in along with his colleague, who he did briefly name, but I'm not sure if anyone caught it, who's just kind of trudging with his head down, rather dour. He breathes very heavily, just as a sort of default state, just very heavy, of various kinds. And Davenport kind of nudges him forward a little bit. Gentlemen,
Gentlemen.
Davenport
Yes.
intones. Gentlemen, I have a potential lead. His loutish companion from
Do
before,
tell.
dressed in rebel war coats, glowers beside him. The medals on his cold-stricken tackety coat chime with the sound of the empty victories they represent as his voice grates. Last night I caught a ginger wench slipping around not long after your chase must have happened. Took her back to the coppers. Took one out of me, though. He's just kind of like gives this sigh and gives this side glance to Davenport, like happy. As I understand, a criminal matching her description was taken in mere days ago. The marshal recently returned from some kind of an outing. It may prove prudent to speak with the local marshal about her. I believe he's named Baird.
All right, well, might as well.
All right.
Thanks.
So her first.
Anything found about the context of the murder?
No, nothing yet.
No, we're going to talk to some of her colleagues.
We could do that first, or we could speak to her. We have options.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it's up to you, Captain. What options do we actually want to take?
First, we should speak to her
Thing.
colleagues. I imagine they
shuffling
live
out.
closer by. Then we can speak to this ginger-haired woman, see what she knows. I suppose we can start with that ornithologist, since she seemed to talk about him the most.
I would like to check out the crime scene again. I'm sure you guys can go talk to this ornithologist while I do that.
Very well.
Yeah.
If you wish, we may split up to cover more ground quickly. So now, Meta, this is me asking to split the party. Hold on.
Have we how many days has it been? Or
What do you mean? How many days? It's like the next day.
is it the next day? Okay, yeah. I was
don't
wondering
know
if we
that.
got like 1 day of rest or something. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you get a night of rest, but I mean, of course, you guys can choose to rest more.
I think we'll be good. There's no way we get ambushed.
Famous last words.
Right, guys?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, what could go wrong? Anyways, so
All right.
what's the split then?
Okay, I'll decide it. So,
Will you? What if I
Hamish and Aja speak to ornithologist. Hayes and Shay will speak to ginger-haired criminal, and Keen will investigate crime scene. I don't really know how long Keen will take, so if
Any
Keen finishes
objections?
early, he can go with Hayes and Shay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go back to Hayes and Shay after I take a look.
So is this carrot top lady tackety tail?
Who are you asking?
One with the medals.
Oh, the guy who just left.
Ah, he's gone. Never mind.
Yeah, he just shuffled out. I mean, Davenport's there.
Yeah.
Him?
Whatever. Doesn't matter. Don't have to interview her anyway.
So?
All right. So we ready? I guess we
I
can.
believe so.
I mean, I
that was
will
the
leave
wrong
it.
accent.
I will leave it to the or I guess keeper, who he wants to start with first. But yes, we'll begin splitting up.
So, to be clear, there are no objections to these pairings or anything, right?
No.
I don't think
Wanna
so.
Force anyone to
Let me be
dragged to
clear.
someone they don't want to talk to. Okay, why don't we start with Hayes and shit? We should probably start with Keen, actually.
Options.
As much as I
Okay.
really want to start with Hayes and Shay, I suppose we'll start with Keen. Just so that you guys can get some.
It's just my
Okay.
natural
Actually,
charisma.
no, we'll start with Hayes and Shay so that there's no metagame context. Okay. So
Alright.
Hayes, Shay, how do you guys want to go about? How do you guys want to go about this?
All right, we do good cop, bad cop. I'll be the bad cop.
Or just some tips on British accurate vernacular. Bobby.
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 Good
I don't
Bobby, bad
know
Bobby.
Bobby,
if we want to be
bad
accurate British people.
Sound good in it?
In it,
Hayes.
Hayes?
He said in it.
Hayes.
Hey.
Anything?
The funny word. Okay.
What? What's a funny word?
Hayes. Are you there, Mr. Jonah
Hey.
Hayes?
Dun, 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 dun.
William. All right.
Wait.
No.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, was that
It
you?
wasn't yes.
There we go. Yeah. So he was just saying good cop, bad cop, and then he's voluntold you to be the good cop. Shit.
Fine.
Okay.
They both want to be bad cops.
How about we do
They're
bad
just
cop?
both
Or
bad.
cop.
I'm like also massive.
True.
Okay.
How about punch cop, stab cop?
Punch cop.
You instead of like pleading with them, you just choose the way you're abused.
Death
Works
by
for me.
1,000 cuts or death by 1,000 punches. All right.
Take your pick.
Well then, you all head out. So you all split your separate ways. And Hayes and Shay, you guys are. Why don't you guys roll navigate?
Alright.
Whoever the highest, which I guess is
Probably
probably going to
me.
be Shay. That's your job, isn't it?
Hold on. Where's navigate?
Okay. Don't forget to mark that down.
Yes,
For everyone,
Yes.
You have
don't
to
forget to
click
mark
the
down your
little,
skills.
the little bubble. The little bubble.
So you guys walk through the reserve, and you're able to easily navigate the landscape. So you find a small map of the reserve. You hitch a few more cable cars through the verdant green, and eventually you manage to make your way to the marshal's station. So it's nothing particularly impressive. You imagine that there's probably not too much of a need for lawmen here. It's a small constable station, really, for the local marshal. Its outsides are crafted from bronze wood, with two more dour holding cells connected, made from a strange white brick. From the thatched roof pokes a small chimney, which gives out a, you suppose, no fire smoke, but there is a definitive sour scent of tobacco smoke surrounding it. You may head inside unless you object. Yeah, so you open the door, and within the office is clouded with smoke and the stench of hard spirits. A scent of tobacco tickles your nose, wrapping around you like a heavy scarf, then grabs at your throat and tears at it with a sour aftertaste. Behind the desk, you hear a grumble, and you see 2 feet are propped up on it. And just who do you think you are?
I'm good cop and this is bad cop. We want to talk to the red-haired lady.
Yeah.
You see a faint glow of a cigarette or a cigar rather. It's kind of a thin orange dot through the haze. And then you see kind of a hand brushing motion as the man brushes some smoke aside. You see he appears to be playing solitaire or something.
On his computer.
No, with his hands. And he looks up at you. Do you have any idea? Oh, wait, his name is wrong. Whoops, let me change that.
It is fitting, I will say.
No, that's not supposed to be his name, though. I changed it for reasons.
Tinkerous Marshall.
For lol reasons.
Get ready for...
Lol,
I'm
League
sure-
of
I'm
Legends
sure-
reasons? What reasons could that be?
League of Legends.
Oh, the misery.
Yeah.
Everybody
go.
wants my enemy. I'm sure me sending sending Shay and Hayes was a perfect choice for this.
And can I help you? He says. He's an interesting man, an interesting looking man. Through the haze, he's got a barrel chest. Age seems unable to slow down. His face is ruddy with whiskey bloom cheeks and a soft fuzz of white hair. He's fairly well turned out, wearing a suit and a wearing a suit and a top hat, which might have started life being black, but is now rather dulled to a bit of a brown. He gives you a rather nasty look.
Yeah.
As he takes another whiff from his cigar.
Yeah, sorry, that was a little joke. We're representatives from the ministry. We think you have a captive, I guess. Yeah, lady with red hair. She was brought in recently. There was a murder, and we think she might have done it. So we'd like to talk to her.
You want to talk to my suspect? He gives you a narrow eye. Do you have any idea? Shut your bloody mouth, goddamn wench. Anyways, as we were saying, you want to talk to my suspect? You have any idea how much trouble I went through to capture her? You have any idea what she's done?
No, actually.
And you're willing to risk all of that for what? Why do you want to talk to her? You've got a warrant? What's going on here?
It's it's a bit of an informal warrant, but...
An informal warrant?
Well, it's a...
The Duclo gang has committed murder, theft, gun running, smuggling. And you're coming at me with an informal warrant?
Well,
ready to risk everything I've worked hard for?
See, that may have been...
That's actually quite tame compared to what I've seen.
That may have been a bit of a misspeech, if you will. We do have a warrant. It's just not written down. See, the thing is,
sound like much of a warrant.
We're currently working.
Shut your mouth! I already said.
Excuse me.
I don't
He's
like the
talking to
tone that
her.
you're taking. with me.
Did
I'm
you not
trying to
hear-
Shut up.
intimidate him.
Did you not hear the voice in the background?
No.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, someone. He was yelling at the lady. Yeah.
Yes, he's yelling behind him.
Right. Yeah, we'd like to talk to her. There's been a murder, bloody murder, all that. We think she might have done it.
Oh no, who was murdered?
I swear if I hear one more word out of you.
Oh, Donovan's the guest.
huffs
Yeah,
and
I
narrows
just
his
realized.
eyes.
I was like,
he waves
what?
away a
was
bit
that?
more of a haze of smoke and takes his cigar. Listen, who you working for?
The ministry.
What's the authority? The ministry? Which ministry might that be?
I don't know. Guy in an eye patch. Forgot his name.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Sorry.
Just name.
Hmm.
Go on.
Why don't you come back when you've got a bit more of a something more official, shall we say?
Well,
Not willing to risk the hard work that I've been here for.
so, you see, sir, we're not looking to let her out. And also, you see this other guy? He's actually pretty far up the chain. Like, we've been sent here from, it's been a couple, I think, a week and a half's journey, just to get here. And, well, my superior, he would be pretty disappointed to hear that we have been sent back just because a single marshal.
You talk too much. We're under orders from the crowd. Move out of the way.
Okay.
Come on, they've come all this way.
Roll intimidate. I'm assuming that's what you're trying to do here, Shay.
Yeah.
Hayes glares at Shay.
Okay.
That's it.
Then roll your intimidate.
Where is it?
Bro, if Shay can intimidate this
Right in
guy,
the middle.
Shay will
Right
literally
in the middle.
be the most horrifying being on.
Oh!
Look
I'm gonna luck
that!
that.
Look that!
I'm gonna luck
Look
it.
that! Look that!
I'm gonna luck it.
You're gonna need a hard success to intimidate this guy,
Oh,
which
you
you
have to
can
like.
get. You'll just have to spend more luck. But this guy does not plan on being intimidated by the likes of you.
How much
Wait, how
for
big is
hard
he?
success?
Well, as I said before, he's a rather large, sort of barrel-chested man. He's probably not as tall as you. And he's, as I said before, he's certainly worn down by age. I mean, you can see it in him.
Oh,
You figure
so
he might be
hard
like
success.
60 or something. Could be older. Age is funny in the skies. Could be younger even.
I think you could definitely luck that up to hard, but you'll have to spend more. But
You got it.
you have to
No, you
spend
failed
like
it.
15, 14.
Just
No, I
spend
have
one luck.
24 luck total.
just spend
Hmm.
one, right?
No.
I need
A
a
hard
hard
has to
success.
succeed.
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
So
He has to
So
spend
you-
9.
Spend 9.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
You could push it too,
Or
but I think
pushing
it's
it might lead to this might be the opportunity, like because like
You know
if
what?
you try
I'll
to push it, you
I'm
could
gonna push
fail.
it.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna push it. You're gonna
I'll
push
push
it, not
it.
luck it. You sure?
Yeah, I'm gonna push it.
Okay, he's
Uh,
you get the
Oh,
sense that if
no.
you push it too far here, he may certainly deny you any kind of entrance at all. He is the marshal after all. But yeah, okay, go ahead and roll. Trust.
Oh my god.
Come on,
Oh
it's
my
been
god.
a while since we've
It's
had
not-
I've had a conversation
luck.
besides
Oh.
This is going so well.
Okay, where is
Oh,
it?
yeah.
remember you can't luck your push rolls.
Wow.
Ah!
Hayes just gonna.
I just randomly rolled that.
Dex?
Well, I'm sorry about that, about the muscle. As I was saying, it's been about a week and a half, and my superior, well, in London actually, would be very disappointed to hear that a marshal, just because he was concerned about security, has turned us away. This is a pretty high-profile murder. This is pretty high priority, and well, if you let us through, I'll put in a good word. Should I say?
Oh,
You
come
think
on,
that's
you old
gonna cut
bugger.
it?
Just
Shut
let
your
them
mouth.
in.
These people are overstaying their welcome.
They've
Listen,
come
I've
so
worked long and
far.
hard for this, and he kind of throws aside his coat and reveals a rather sizable, a hefty-looking revolver. And I'm not afraid to use force. You seem like a pair of miscreants. You've got the look of a sailor about you. Look at that scar. Get out of here. Probably a pair of criminals trying to break her out. Probably connected to the goddamn Duclo gang. Get out before I fire you out.
Jay looks like he is ready to fucking throw hands.
This is gonna be so
Join
cool.
me.
This is gonna go amazingly.
How do you react?
I made an
Okay,
amazing.
He's just kind of a
Hayes.
try me. Oh, Hayes.
So
yeah.
we were sailors at one point, but I can tell you I've been well and truly reformed, if you will, and I can promise that we mean no harm. We're just looking for information, and it'll cost you nothing. And if you allow us to have a short talk with this hideous criminal that you have locked up,
That's kind of rude.
I will assure you that nothing but good will come of it.
He just called me hideous.
You're damn right you are, but that's besides the point.
That was actually kind of rude. What the fuck, man?
You're a bunch of criminal scum. I don't want to see you anywhere near my marshal station. You're lucky I'm letting you off the hook. I'll be writing your names down and your faces. You bet you. Get out! Now!
I mean, I've only got half a face.
Make
but alright,
me.
fine. No, Shay,
uh-oh.
Shay, come on, let's go. That's enough.
I guess I'll see you later.
Yeah.
I'm still standing there.
This is top funny. I made an amazing choice here.
So, Hayes, are you going to do anything to this?
Hayes, what are you doing? Well, actually, that's my name. Shay, What are you doing?
I ain't leaving until he makes me, or we talk to the criminal.
I think he is making us, Shay.
He draws his weapon.
Shay.
Oh, look, the marshal's gonna commit murder in broad daylight.
You're acting mighty suspicious. You have any idea what this woman has done? You think I'm just going to let you get that close to her? Or you could break her right out? In fact, your attitude here makes me think more and more that you're someone trying to work with her.
Well, if you think that we can break her out of these iron bars with, I don't know, our bare hands, then your locks suck.
Why don't you just sail on out of here? Come on!
Yeah, I don't think we're getting anywhere with this. Hey, can we go, please?
You're gonna need meta-wise, you're gonna need a lot better of a argument than that.
I don't care. I'm just role playing how he's gonna.
No,
No,
I'm talking,
he's
I'm talking
talking
about.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I'm just
Hayes.
role playing. Hayes, you might want to drag him out if you're that convinced about it.
I'm really not strong enough.
Good luck dragging Shay out.
All right,
though.
well, never mind.
Yeah.
Let's start wrecking, shall we? So, sir, I would implore you to not point that at us. I promise you.
He is pointing it at you.
I would implore you to please put that down. I promise you.
If you shoot me right here, you're losing your job.
Oh, come on, Roland. There's no need to be like this.
And we are officers of the ministry, the London ministry, no less.
Then come back with some identification. Is it that difficult?
Well, that'll be.
Here's my identification. I just pull out a
Oh,
paper that says I do what I want.
That you have on your person.
Yeah.
Am I just so ineffectual in this situation that it doesn't matter?
Oh, God.
Okay, Shay, would you like to push it?
Or luck it?
I physically cannot luck it, but I will push it.
You'll be fine.
Well done.
Okay, this guy's convinced that you're criminals at this point.
Oh, I've been muted this whole time.
Yes, he is convinced that you're a criminal, and he is going to fire a shot of his revolver. So the revolver bursts with a cloud of gunpowder and smoke, and the bullet whizzes. Or actually, he should have a bonus dice.
I don't know.
Okay, and the bullet pierces into your chest because he's right next to you. And the bullet pierces into your chest. So / roll. Dealing 8 damage.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Is Shay,
Or actually, technically, it's Shay. You can choose to dive for cover if you want.
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
forgot
do
about
that.
It does mean that you will forfeit your entire next turn.
I mean, better than taking 8 damage. What do I roll?
Okay. Yeah, I should have asked you this before he shot, but oh well. You're gonna roll your dodge. That's my bad.
Okay.
Ooh, no dice. You can't push this one because it's a contested roll, or luck it. So the shot pierces into your shoulder, and you take 8 damage. So you strike the ground hard, and manage to just barely stay conscious. Can you roll a Constitution check? Actually, I should be playing the funny music. Here we go. There we go. All right, and you fall unconscious as the bullet strikes into you. He then points the smoking revolver towards Hayes. You've got any problems?
My god, you bastard! You shot him.
Oh boy.
Let's go.
Oh,
well, now you've
my
got no choice.
God.
You've got to let us through, or I'll tell the fucking ministry on you. You'll be out of a job. Might be sent to a work world for all I know. You've shot a fucking ministry official.
Get the fuck out of my office,
I'll
criminal scum.
be back.
You gotta.
We'll be taking this one in
What
for
a
questioning.
Chad. Can't even be
yeah,
angry
yeah,
about
you
this.
cannot take him.
You should just
You're
rush him.
damn right I can. If he's got diplomatic immunity, show me some goddamn identification.
He looks like he's like a hair trigger away from a heart attack.
Well, look, I don't have any.
That's how you could kill him.
Then get the fuck out!
I'll
Buggeration!
leave, but I'm leaving with Shay.
You'll be leaving in 2 pieces! Move it!
Right, fine, okay. Hands up.
Can you
My hands are up.
roll?
I'll leave.
Okay.
All right.
Are you going to leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So then you leave. You leave and Shay, sorry about that, but I'm not that sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Well, I mean, it was his character. I mean, that was, I assume, what he expected. But I mean, hey, look on the bright side. Now you're in the same cell. So you, Hayes, what are you going to do?
Right. What time is it?
It's probably technically morning, but of course it's always kind of light out.
Crap. Okay, so there's no like back door or anything, is there?
Not that you can see. There is technically the prison's window grate.
How big is that?
It's not big enough to fit through. It's just like iron bars, but
More importantly, how flimsy does it look?
roll luck. Shay. Okay. It looks pretty thick.
Damn.
Or I guess you're unconscious, but Hayes, it looks pretty thick.
Damn it.
Could be doable for someone like Shay. You're not sure.
No. Guess I've got nothing to do but wait and listen, haven't I? So, I'll just, actually, I thought of something. And I'm going to go back to, my patch guy. I have actually forgotten his name. Sorry.
Asher Davenport, unless you're talking about unless you're trying to find
Right,
his partner.
Davenport, yeah. And I'm going to try to get
Okay, so you're
ID
not-
from him.
Okay. So we'll get back to you
Yeah.
on that. In the meantime, we'll go through the other short interview here, and then we'll go to Keen, and then we'll
Great.
have you all come back.
I was
together.
getting ready to take notes for when they interviewed the prisoner, but this is all I have right now.
Okay. So, all the way back over with Hamish and Adja. What are you guys doing? Is there any conversation, any banter as you make your way through the
Well, as
verdant
I'm walking, I'm like,
verdant is really the word of the day when it comes to Leadbeater and Stainrod.
I'm just like looking at Ajit. It's like I
Make
feel
a pleasant thing to keep
strange,
going for a little bit while we still can.
Strange, what?
Something a reckoning. Like something's gone terribly wrong. Do you think I made the good decision sending Hayes and Shay to speak to the prisoner? I mean, because they're rough lads. I mean, and she must be a rough lass, being a criminal. I assume they would be a good match, right? Do you think I made the right decision?
I don't know. They seem like capable crew members.
Right. I'm worrying about nothing. You see, I'm worrying about nothing.
It would be fine.
All right. Where's this ornithologist lad?
Okay, so you guys head over, and it's not too terribly difficult to figure out where the ornithologist is. It's a very large watchtower. So you go to Capabilities Inquest, which is sort of the more touristy area of the reserve, and is the more reserve part of the reserve, shall we say. It's much more just forest here as opposed to where you are, which is sort of the more scientific complex, shall we say. And of course, the ornithologist, if he is not hiking through the wilderness or camping beneath the bough of one of the great trees, he is sat alone in his watchtower watching for his bird. So, let me quickly find something. That one, Control F. Sorry, Albert's Idol, not Capabilities Inquest. My bad. Mixed up the names. 2 different locations in the same place. The park is filled with birds and flowers, trees and woodland creatures, streams and bumbling insects, and other more insidious dangers. Visitors are not allowed to venture too deeply into the reserve without an escort. However, there is a clear indication that in this watchtower, there is an escort service. Not that kind. It points to the Romantic Ornithologist's tower.
All right. We will head to his tower.
Okay. So you both head on up. It's rather tall. And it's very much what you would you think you would want if you were a researcher here. It's quite nice. It's nice refurbished bronze wood, and it's really it's genuinely shocking that somebody who's in such poor standing with everyone else has such a nice looking research area. And the tower has an aura of languid peace surrounding its vigilant presence. A balcony terrace surrounds the study with 4 supports covered in bookshelves carrying the roof, while presenting the verdant wonder of the reach in an otherwise 360-degree view at the top of the tower. The smells of both fresh English breakfast tea and oversteeped tea from the previous day waft into your nostrils as you enter the bedecked bronzewood office. The ornithologist's study is far larger than Burroughs and far better stocked, with a modest library of avian texts surrounding here, and presumably in the rooms below, further expanded upon. Upon his desk lie various open books as well as a few colors of ink, and he turns from his watchtower balcony, holding a pair of binoculars, and smiles quietly. Welcome. Tea?
That is creepy.
It shouldn't be creepy. It should be nice.
We'll have some.
I'm
shrugs.
sorry
It's
it
a
came
normal
across as
tea
creepy.
thing.
Yes, it's pretty normal tea.
Yeah.
Well, I've just made a pot, so here,
Right.
come sit. There's a couple of chairs
Thank
around
you.
the office. Here, let me grab that for you. And you sit down at his desk. Let me see. And who might you be?
I am Captain Hamish, and this is my associate, Audrey Yule. We are here on behalf of the Ministry with the hopes of discerning more information about the unfortunate demise of one Lillian Burroughs, who you may or may not be aware of.
Oh dear. His expression changes. I'm sorry, what do you mean?
Well, it would seem that a ruffian of the night stabbed her and left her to die. At present, we are merely trying to discern more information about who this ruffian might be so that we may bring him to proper justice.
He kind of overpours the tea on the table, and you see a few droplets spill over, and he kind of pauses and puts the tea kettle back down.
I'm just gonna try to look big and a bit intimidating, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
You'll
he
be the
does-
bad cop. You'll
He
be
does
the
seem to
bad cop.
notice this. Roll intimidate.
Yes, sir.
Is basically to see how intimidating your presence is as a general thing.
Where is intimidate on the thing? It's in BC.
And what are you guys doing as he pours you this tea and you relay him the information? Are you guys going to sit there and talk
Hamish
to him?
merely picks at his bandages and stuff, kind of
Hard
like
success.
Hard success.
coughs.
Okay. He's like visibly afraid. It looks like.
Well, I suppose this is no pleasant visit. Which is a shame, too. I'd just gotten to see Cathartes migratorius. Black
Well,
vulture, as they call
we
it.
may discuss these birds another time. Sorry, that made me okay. But I am aware that she was your colleague. We had actually spoken to her some time before her death, and she seemed to speak of you quite passionately. Unfortunately, not very favorably, but she was acquainted with you, it would seem. Can you confirm this?
Well, yes, certainly. Yes, she, unlike most, took umbrage to my research, you could say.
I see.
Oh, right. I haven't even shown you guys the picture again. But yeah, he's still the same person as before, so I suppose it's not necessary. In any case, so Hamish, as this is happening, you kind of scan around, or rather, Aja, sorry. As this is happening, you're kind of like scanning around. You scan over his desk. So there's a lot of many different colors of ink, various open books. There's a set of keys, and there's also an ivory knife, which is upon the desk. Interestingly, you can't help but notice it, really.
Do I recognize this knife?
Yes, as you guys can see, I rolled 2d100 for spot hidden. Do you recognize this knife? Well, it is an ivory-handled knife. Fairly recognizable. Do you want to, or here, actually, I'll show you the knife, and I'll let you decide.
Do we recognize this?
I don't know. What do you remember? Could roll an ideas roll, which is intelligence.
Am I being stupid right now? I think I'm being stupid right now.
Do you just not remember an ivory knife at all, is what you're telling me?
I vaguely. Look it. We need to know.
You can also point it out to Hamish, perhaps.
Maybe I'll nudge him and nod to the knife subtly.
I'd be like,
Hamish sees the knife and his eyes widen, and he's like, a moment, sir. And I'm gonna kind of take, and then it'll be like, I must have a word with my associate before we continue speaking with you. And I take Aja.
Widen in a bit of fear.
I'm gonna take Aja off to the side and lean in and say, "Do you think that's the knife? I seem to recall ivory." I whisper to Aja.
Hamish, can you roll actually, no, you guys are fine.
Well, this seems pretty clear then.
Okay. Silence. We cannot let him. Continue as if you noticed nothing. I'm going to return to the desk and say, "My apologies. We had to attend to some matters, but we are happy to continue this interview if you are."
The knife that you were speaking about is
Wait, we were whispering.
Yes.
Okay. But he heard it.
You were
All right.
whispering. That's correct.
This was a gift from my grandfather, long before, well, all of these crazy events happened. This is a letter opener, or I use it as a letter opener, I suppose, which perhaps isn't the most dignified use for it, but it does do a fantastic job of that, as well as sharpening quills. I journal a lot and sketch as well.
Aja, psychology check.
This knife,
That's what I was about to say. Maybe make a psychology check, Mr. DM?
Yeah.
I'm not very good at these.
This is.
I'm gonna roll it for you.
Wait! Luck
I'm
it!
gonna roll
Luck it!
I'm gonna
Oh,
roll
never
it for
mind.
you.
Never mind.
I don't have enough luck for that.
Okay. You don't have enough. Okay. So yeah, you don't get a good read. You could push it. Ironically, I actually rolled a 29 as well. So I guess you're not going to be lucking that. But if you'd like to push it, you can. You just have to explain to me how you're doing that.
I
In the
will
meantime, we will
choose
have
it not
Jazz
to
do
push it, Mr. DM or Keeper, sir.
Fair enough. Hamish, is your psychology better than his, or is it the exact same?
No, it's dog ass. I can try to roll. I mean, there's not really any penalty
both
for
of you
me
guys have
trying
the
to roll.
same.
Okay.
I suppose not. No.
All right. No harm in trying.
I'll roll for you. I'll roll
Okay.
for you.
Cool.
Oops, I need to set that to hidden roll. Okay.
This
You're not
music
able to
is
get a
giving me
good read
anxiety.
I know.
Just keep in mind that you can always turn down Roll20's volume if you ever need it.
No. I like it. I like it, but it's like scary in a good way. I'll just sit down and be like, I would not know why the knife would be a cause for alarm, but perhaps you did hear us discussing it. We merely took an interest in the handiwork. An ivory handle, very tasteful.
He's like glancing at you, just trying to figure out what's going on here and trying to discern the meaning. But his frenetic gazing doesn't seem to yield results.
Are you well, sir?
Well, I suppose I'm all right. It's just rather alarming to have a pair of men come into your office and start questioning about the murder of one of your associates.
Right. My apologies. Silly
We're not
question.
asking around with many people, so it's just
Indeed.
routine.
So, if it is all right with you, we will merely continue with our line of questioning. So, last I spoke with her, I am to understand that she took umbrage with your work due to the fantasticalness of this bird you were chasing, this phoenix of some sort.
Well, yes. There are other birds I could study, of course, but that's not the point, he says, and he kind of shrugs. We had thought this bird to be a myth, and bird who wears away at the mother of mountains pebble by pebble, but miners have seen it. And the heavens are home to improbable things. I get on better alone, I would say, normally, than with my colleagues. It's not that I don't enjoy the company, but he scratches his beard. I think it's a difference in philosophy. They want to conquer nature and her secrets. I merely wish to be her confidant.
Right.
As far as my tower itself, she is, I suppose, envious of my laboratory.
Yes, well, suppose that was the case. Anyways, we will ask some more questions relevant to the grim occurrence itself. On the night that she was murdered, and I'll just say the date, whatever the date was, where were you present, and what were you doing?
Yes, I was here, doing same thing that you saw me doing just a few minutes ago.
Right.
Like I said, I managed to find a Cathartes migratorius, the black rainbow vulture.
And you live some.
He frantically turns a notebook.
You can see my sketches here.
That is fine.
We already failed psychology checks. Could we remake them for this? I don't want to just spam psychology, but
yeah, I won't let you spam them. But what are you specifically trying to psychoanalyze?
this alibi that he's been
alibi. Okay. That's not quite how psychology works. Are you trying to gauge like his expression as he says it, like
Yeah.
like his turning the journal over to you quickly? Okay. Then I'll roll for you. I'll let you guys make one collective. Okay. Yeah, so that is numbers. Yeah, so that's a hard success. You're certain that actually I probably shouldn't have said that it was a hard success. You're he looks very panicked. And just generally very afraid of the two big men that are in his room inquiring about his dead colleague.
That may
Um,
not mean anything. Okay.
Yes, you're
Right.
not sure, but this is definitely seems to be more of a gesture of panic. So if he is your culprit, he must not have been prepared for this.
Well, we'll continue questioning him.
Passion, perhaps.
All right. So on the night of the murder, I realize you live some distance away from this mycologist's hut, but just to be sure, did you happen to notice anything suspicious other than these migratory vultures, whatever their name was?
Well, no, I suppose not. I spend most of my time just guiding tours out in the reserve and bird watching, so I don't spend too terribly much time looking about at other people for whatever specific suspicious things you might be referring to.
All right. All right. Hamish
I could
continues
take
to
you on a
think.
tour if you'd like.
That will be fine. We don't. We are, of course, on important business. Can't at present do so. Hamish is going to he's gonna turn to Aja and be like, "Do you have any questions you would like to ask this man?"
Only one thing. Do you know anyone who would have had it out for Mrs. Bowles was her name? Right, I want to make sure I'm getting that right.
Burrows.
Burrows, okay. I was close. Or Miss Burrows? Any enemies you knew of? Anyone with a motive?
Suppose not. I don't generally interact with most of the other populace except for being laughed at.
He gives a bit of a nervous laugh.
So I'm afraid I'm not your man for that.
Is there anyone she was close with? Any other associates that she spoke to more other than, you?
Well, she's also somewhat more of a solitary researcher. Did we meet in front of her cabin?
In passing. Also,
Yes.
I myself,
on your face.
since I think we are mostly out of questions, but I must ask in a different vein. I too am I enjoy experiencing nature more towards plants and botany, but how is it that you have managed to get such a amazing laboratory here or research area when you are apparently laughed at it?
Well, I am one of the senior-most researchers at the reserve. I was one of the founders here. And of course, I'm good for tourism, being one of the few who's willing to take people out on tour. And I suppose beyond that, it's not like I only am looking for this bird. Well, I suppose I don't want to seem egotistical, but I would like to say that I've done a rather good job of cataloging the Reach's birds, especially in these parts.
Very well, very well.
Interesting. Perhaps sometime I will track down some of your work and read it?
Yes, she was somewhat falling behind, as I'm sure you're aware. What with Hybris being cut off, but beyond that, I don't know. She complained about it at length when she was shouting at me.
All right. So, I'm just going to like say to him like, well, we may be beginning to exhaust our line of questioning, and I apologize if this comes off as invasive. But you see, when the ministry calls to duty, we must answer, and they have mandated that we must do whatever is necessary to ensure that this little murder mystery is solved. So I apologize if you take umbrage with this. We will try not to rustle up your house too badly, but we must conduct a light search to ensure you are not hiding anything critical to this investigation. We trust you, of course, but this is a
Yes.
cautionary measure.
Feel free. That's no trouble at all. Please just
Hamish
don't
tries to.
the books too much. They're
Hey,
organized.
of course. Hamish tries to like smile, but it just ends up coming off as like really fucking disturbing because about like no like
He's not
cracked
a huge
lips.
fan of
But yeah. My thanks. All right. Can I roll? Okay, so can I roll spot hidden while just looking
Yeah, Audrey, what are
around
we gonna do?
the area? Okay, how about okay, so what are like are there like sections to this tower? We can like split our search between the two and like search one part and then he can search the other. What do you think?
Yes,
Sorry.
No.
We should just do light skim, right?
Yeah.
And the others we can be quick.
Right. And what were you gonna say, Aiden, about like the layout?
Yeah, so it's there's essentially this library and store here. His office is up here, of course. And then down below there's 3 other tiers, of which you're not sure what's where.
Okay, well I'll search his office. You can search the what were you saying the other one was again? Sorry.
You're not sure.
Huh. Okay. Well, how about you search that unknown location, Adja? I can trust you.
Okay.
But yeah, all right. I'll
Actually,
roll
you might
spot
want to take
hidden.
the upstairs bedroom.
There you can steal shields.
I'll roll spot hidden on the office. Adja
Alright.
can roll spot hidden on the unknown location. Okay,
Oh,
hard
no,
success.
Location.
Okay. And
Should I
Adja?
roll mine now or wait? Okay, I'll
Yeah,
roll mine.
sure, roll it now.
7.
Wow. Okay, so Adja, you
My
conduct
roll,
a thorough search. So you step down. Actually, let's do Hamish first, just to reiterate the stuff that Adja noticed earlier. So yes, Hamish, you search about his office, and there's a couple of things. The books here are generally mostly just avian texts. They seem to be very like sort of more so identification guides than anything else, as well as a fair few notebooks, a couple that are incomplete. Essentially things that you would want on hand as you're bird watching. There's Diaries of Musings. A quick skim through those reveals nothing of particular note, just a lot of dreamy musings about his bird. Upon his desk lie various open books as well as a few colors of ink. As well as, of course, the same ivory knife from before and a set of keys with a bunch of keys attached.
May I ask what these keys are for?
I turn to him.
Well, I'm not too sure, actually. I noticed them here yesterday. Perhaps someone left them here. I was going to return them to their rightful owner. I just hadn't gotten around to it.
Ooh,
Someone left at his office.
that sounds like That's
Someone
interesting.
left these keys at your office?
Yes, I'm not sure. Perhaps one of the custodians? They have keys to everywhere.
Huh.
My keys are, of course, only for my own study.
That's your own locks, yes. Very well, I'll just leave these here.
Perhaps you could ask the custodians.
Right.
They
Actually,
get around.
are you okay with me taking these so I may ask the custodians about them? I can tell them to return them at some point.
Yes, I would. Thank you. That would spare me the trouble.
All right then.
Of course.
Okay. I like pocket the keys. All
right.
Anything else?
No, that's mostly it for this area. Other than the reach just kind of spilling out about you. So Aja, you step downstairs and give an excellent search. So you first come into a small sort of library, then a kitchen, then his bedroom and living quarters. When in his bedroom, within the library, you find more avian texts, really an incredible amount, truly a shocking amount. You didn't realize there was this much written on birds, and a fair few of them are written by him. Seems to be the leading authority. The kitchen, there's nothing of particular note. No bloodstains, no dangerous things washed away. There is, you note, a somewhat reddish tint on the drain, but there are some tomatoes that have been sliced nearby. They seem to have been forgotten after they were sliced. However, in his bedroom, you do find one thing of note as you're going through everywhere. You note that his drawer for his drawer lies open, and inside of it there's a book, a journal. It appears that you may wish to take a look at.
Yeah, do it. Read it. I'm distracting
I'm
him.
about to
Do it.
get some Cthulhu Mythos skill things. Gonna pick up the book.
You're immediately
Does it have
assailed
a
with
title?
One second. Yes. So it's very interesting. So
Wait, I
you
zoned out for a hot minute. What happened? Why is Cthulhu Mythos coming up?
We were just memeing.
Just searching the
They found
ornithologist stuff, and we found
they
a
found
book
a
and are
journal.
just panicking for no actual reason.
So
He may
the
be a
book
red
is
herring.
titled The Golden Bough. And it's this journal here appears to be annotations thereof. In fact, you can see the actual book, The Golden Bough, is just underneath it. If you'd like to pick that up first.
Suspicious.
Can I just
It's
give
a-
them both a quick skim? Yeah.
Yes,
So-
it's a very thick work. It's about, you would imagine, 13 volumes of paper thin, or not paper thin, like the thinnest pages you've ever seen.
Paper.
Now, it claims to have been written in 1890. Was published from 1911, 1955, or 1915. And it appears to be some kind of a work of anthropology, which explores the evolution of magical, religious, and scientific thought, as well as their relation to the creatures that we find about us. You wish you had an abridged version, but you imagine that's what his notes are for. If you'd like to make a more thorough study of the book, you could.
Perhaps with the notes?
Is anybody the reading type over there?
Yes, so your notes, Ajay, ironically, is the notes you've flipped through, and mostly they seem to be annotations, and almost all of them are about this mysterious bird. Pretty much everything is just regarding potential theories. Where might it have come from? What might it be doing? Where might he find it? And at the very end of the journal, there's something that is terribly interesting and perhaps terribly frightening. It is a collection of correspondence sigils that have been traced into the paper.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And above them in title, they read Mother Bird's Call.
Correspondence sigils are the weird, like, alien
Yes, these
thing.
ones are roughly and crudely sketched, but they still give you kind of a dull pressure in your head, despite being human made. They clearly don't wield the power that they might otherwise on their own. But yes,
Are you writing this down, Hamish, or should I?
Yeah,
see
I
you
am. I
typing
am.
in the notes. Okay. The mother bird. Is there anything past that?
There's various other sigils that have been traced with a couple of notes. None of them actually have any substantial information about them, though. It's more so just 1 to 2 word jottings. It's almost as if he's trying to piece something together here. Or perhaps he's already pieced it together and these are the remnants of it.
Okay. Do I pocket this or leave it? This is rhetorical. I'm like asking myself. I don't. He might get angry if he finds it missing.
Oh, what will he do to you? What will he do? He's scrawnier than me. Well, he'd probably. I'm pretty scrawny.
I don't know about that. I don't.
Oh wait, what if he? Oh wait, that might be.
I will. Is it small enough to just fit into my? What? Sorry.
Nothing.
Can I pocket this book? Like, or
well, it doesn't fit in your pocket, but you can put it in one of your. It doesn't fit in like your pants pockets, but you can hide it inside your coat. Yes.
Sure. Is that going to be like hard? Am I going to have to sleight of hand that, or
no? Nobody's watching you do it.
Then I will do so. Do I actually? Does Aja actually know what correspondence sigils are?
You've certainly heard of them, probably.
Okay.
They're very famous among sky sailors. Some of them are beneficial, some of them are not. Some of them are quite nice. Most of them are terrifying. So then you head back up and reconvene with Hamish. I hope everything was in order and found to your liking.
I turn to Aja and be like, "Did you find anything of interest?"
No, just poked around for a bit, but seems to be good.
All right. Well, luckily for you, good sir, it seems that you are off the hook, as it were. You needn't worry your head any longer. I apologize for any alarm our visit may have caused. We will see you on a better day, I hope. And we bid you adieu, as the Frenchmen say.
Yes. He gives you a nod.
I nod back at him and do the smile again, failing to be reassuring in any respect. And I do my now signature shambolic walk, slightly hunched over. And I motion for Aja to follow me. Let me
follow
the lore. No.
I'm gonna be right back. I need to grab some chapstick. I'm actually dying right now.
Have fun.
No! What the? Oh my God! No!
What?
Everything okay?
Don't look in Sunless Sky's chat above the.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry about it.
Holy crap! That whale must have. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything. You could write a really good creepypasta about this. I won't. I should stop looking at this.
You're just continually looking at it, are you?
Just write creepypasta. You're a depraved soul.
Cummy pasta.
Okay.
Wait, it's
okay.
praying. Did
This is
praying
being
record
recorded.
that?
Consider
Okay,
this
oh my
for this
Oh
is being
yeah. Oh,
recorded.
this is
Oh
going
wait,
in.
tell
Yeah,
wait
this is going right
Aiden,
in.
if you hear this, cut this out. Cut this
No,
part
No,
out.
no, 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 no,
Oh
no,
no
no,
no
no,
no
no,
no
no,
no!
no.
Wait, no. Cut it. What if I have a career in the future?
What's
This will
happening? I
ruin
just came
me.
back.
This nothing,
This
Mr. Keeper.
Nothing.
Continue with this
ghost.
game.
Yeah, just don't edit the audio when you
No
post it.
wait
Just post it.
no.
Some ghost.
No need to cut anything out or re-listen to it back or anything.
This Jism phantom. No. I
Oh
can't
my
stop
God.
myself. I can't stop myself.
Anyways, we were leaving this ornithologist's lair.
Yes, and I was assuming that your characters were gonna.
Yes,
discuss
I'm
finding.
going to look at
Did you
Audra and
find
say,
anything?
so no, I merely saw more things about birds and how to find birds and how to identify birds and other things of that nature. There's only one thing of mild interest: keys left by the custodians of this reserve, I'm to believe, and
Other
he
than the
wishes
knife,
them
of course.
returned. But yes, nothing more suspicious than that knife. But did you find anything in the man's bedroom? Did you look under? Perhaps you found the files that were
Making
stolen?
sure we're out of eyesight and earshot
Yes, far away.
from the guy. I will pull out the journal. And
The
flip
guy.
kind of
What is that? Is
It's-
journal?
about its annotations of a book called The Golden Bough. Perhaps we can find a copy at one of the nearby libraries. But I flip to the end and show him he's looking for this special bird, and it's all normal till the end. And I'll show. Do I want to show Hamish Correspondence Sigils? I'm sure everything will go fine.
Everything will be fine.
I'll show him the page that says
What
like
could
the
possibly
mother
go
bird.
wrong?
Hamish sees a correspondence sigils and freezes up, and he's like,
Correspondence sigils.
That's
It's been a long time since I've seen one of those,
I
and
do
I
not
would
know
not
what
have
it means.
expected to
But
find them in his employ.
"Can I roll occult on them?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
in theory, could I also try to roll a cult?
I rolled
Oh.
a success.
Mm-hmm. Any of you guys got
Massive occult.
Cthulhu Mythos?
Mine is gone. I've got Cthulhu Mythos of 0.
All right. Well, I rolled a 32, so that's a success.
Yes. So you're rolling this on the correspondence sigils, right?
Yeah.
Well, you don't know what the sigils mean. Almost no one does, but they seem to be arranged as if they're sort of a message. You've heard of correspondence being used to create verdicts and arguments, really, in divine law. Some people would call them spells, and this one appears to be arranged as such. You're not sure how in progress it is, given by the ones at the end that are kind of added in as like almost notes on them. Perhaps those are leftover chaff. Perhaps this is complete. Perhaps this is overdone. You have no idea. Or perhaps it's incomplete. You're not sure.
We should definitely cast it.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Anyways, Hamish turns to Aja and it's like,
It seems as if they are arranged in such a manner that would indicate that our little ornithologist does a lot more than study birds. He seemed to be attempting to cast some kind of a spell. Whether or not it was incomplete or overdone, I cannot say. But, well, the magic in them seems to have died somewhat. Or
This is
perhaps is not
somewhat
awakened yet.
confusing in that when you talked about the keys, my initial assumption was that someone must have left the knife at Bow's and the creature snuck in, used it, and then returned it as some to put us off the I don't know, to the lead heading. But now I don't know, why would he be doing this? What is this mother bird even?
I'm sure that he's has his. I mean, every man has their own obsessions, and
Yes,
well,
this is particularly suspicious.
I would say that these sigils are of particular interest, but I have severe doubts as to their relevance to our investigation. Granted, I will not discount them entirely. He could be part of something bigger, and perhaps the ministry would like to know. But in any case, we will hold this for safekeeping. I'm not sure how he'll react to noticing it'll be gone, but for now we will have to keep it with us, I assume. So, good work. These sigils, I would caution you not to stare at them for too long a time. But perhaps we can check back in with Keen and see how he is doing on his front of the investigation.
Beautiful.
What say you?
Yes, of course.
Actually, I think we're going to cut to Shay just because Shay has to leave at some point.
Sure. Okay.
I have to leave at 8.
Yeah, I want to make sure that you don't.
I have to use the restroom and stuff, but I'll be back later.
Not allowed. Nope.
I too am going to do that.
Puedo ir al baño, por favor?
No, never. Okay, so Shay, back to you. You kind of come to awaken, and you're in cuffs, in a prison cell that smells of tobacco. Hayes, what are you? Hayes, are you there, by the way?
Yes. Oh wait, no.
I am here. Yeah.
Hayes, not Shay. Yeah. What was Hayes planning on doing? He was going
he was
back,
going
right?
to Davenport to get some kind of ID.
Okay. And Shay, you can hear a loud snoring, almost like a chainsaw coming from
Hobbs
the marshal.
and Shaw.
Okay.
That's what Hayes and Shay reminded me of.
Hobbs and Shaw. Okay. I can break these cuffs. These cuffs.
You could. There's also a woman sitting in the cell across from you.
I can break these cuffs. I just wanted to do the meme. Can I try and break the cuffs?
You can. It will be quite loud.
Oh.
no.
Okay, I'm gonna be like. I'm gonna kind of like be like, "Yo, what's up?" to the woman. Kind of like nod over.
That was it was quite the display. That
you could
in front of
you could call it that.
Yeah, don't know about your thought process going through that one.
He pissed me off.
Well, yes, but you also pissed him off, and he had a
Sorry,
gun
what was that?
on you. Yes, but you also pissed him off, and he had a gun on you.
Okay. Well, if he was any decent of a marshal, he would not have shot, because now he's fucked. My employer will have some words with him.
All right.
By the way, your wounds are patched up, so you've healed 1 hit point, and I just wrote it in.
Hog.
All right, then. I'll look forward to seeing that, then. So what was it you wanted to talk to me about?
Shay, could you roll luck, by the way?
Luck? Okay.
Yeah.
Oop.
Okay.
That's a failure. Well, as I'm sure you've heard, a mycologist has been killed, murdered. Would you happen to be the one who killed her?
Not as far as
Care to admit?
That was quick. No, I wasn't.
Oh.
I don't know what you expected me to say.
Can I roll psychology?
Yeah.
Is it? Where is it? Psychoanalysis.
Actually,
mine's a 1.
No, I'll roll psychology for you. That's the wrong skill, by the way. There's two. There's psychology and then there's psychoanalysis.
Okay.
Yeah, she's a pretty practiced liar, you're guessing. You have no idea.
Does she happen to have any sort of a stab wound?
Any sort of a stab
Bullet
wound. You wanna
wound.
try to look around her for wounds? Well, she would go ahead and roll.
Spot hidden?
Yeah. Unless you wanna yeah. Okay. You wanna push that or luck it?
I'll push it. I'll kind of like try and like make her turn around, see if she has any sort of a gun wound.
Yeah, she's probably gonna take offense at that.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. The murderer was shot twice.
Okay, well, why are you doing that? You could have just asked me or done anything that wasn't so weird.
Well, you see, if you were the murderer, you would not have let me seen.
I don't think anyone would want you peeping around them. Especially not after what you just displayed in front of a man with holding a rifle. Who knows what you're capable of? Clearly have no sense
Fair
of
point.
self-control
Fair
or
point.
boundaries.
Well, what are you in here for?
This and that.
This and that. Very specific, are we?
Well, I tend not to go around listing the crimes that I've committed.
You want me to list my crimes?
No, I don't particularly
Would
care
it make you
about
feel
what
more
crimes you've committed.
comfortable?
Yeah. Plus, there's no point in listing them. Probably wouldn't, there's just so many, that there's no need to list each one. It sort of ruins the mysteriousness or flair of being a hardened criminal. Of course, how are you
Listen,
in
as an
charge of
actual
the-
hardened criminal, it's not a very mysterious or flary job.
So, who are you employed by as a hardened criminal? Why are you working?
The
Why are
Crown.
you not in jail? Or why would the
Well,
Crown
former
employ
hardened
you?
criminal. I'm a sailor now.
So why were you employed? What do you do?
I'm a navigator.
You're a navigator. Ugh. Well, I guess the marshal was right. Roland really does have quite the eye for criminals now.
I'm snoring ambience I had missed.
Yeah. Of course, yes, he noticed that the door was still was unlocked, so he made right sure to lock it when he
I
threw you
haven't
in
committed a crime in a while. A few
Well,
years.
Well, I
Hey,
mean, one could argue that when a marshal tells you to leave, you probably should, but I commend your bravery.
It wasn't brave, he pissed me off.
Okay, I commend your reckless endangerment of yourself and your friend there who seems to have left you.
Oh yeah, he does that. He's kind of an asshole.
Well, that's
I
well
would do the same.
Okay. So, did you just want to ask me if I murdered the mycologist? Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about?
No, not really.
No, you just take me at my word.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a first. But it'd be quite boring if you just took me at my word. Then we'd have nothing to talk about. So why don't you ask me, or when was she murdered?
When was she murdered again? Just meta.
Last night.
Last night.
Oh. So why don't you ask me what I was doing last night?
What were you doing last night?
Well, that's an interesting question.
Your mother.
So, I tend to, of course, I am a loyal prisoner, and I would never leave the cell. Yeah, tosses him a wink. Without being seen by the keen eye of the guard, or by Roland. You know, he's a bit past his prime, you know, he's...
Snoring ambience.
I mean, it doesn't really matter how past your prime are if you have a gun pointed at someone that's 2 inches away, or 2 millimeters away. But so, yes, I would never leave, and I would never do anything that would be against the wishes of the keen eye or the keen mind of the guard that's sleeping in a chair.
Diligently sleeping.
Yes, very attentive, you know.
You talk too much.
His keys dangle from his hip.
I don't know if I talk too much. Maybe it's just been too long since I've talked to anybody. You know, you're the first person been here in a while, or
You
first
seem
person
to
that
have
I've
been
had
talking to Roland a
extended
lot.
conversation. Well, that is a good way to put it. I've been talking to Roland. It kind of seems like talking at him. He's not much of a chatter. If you heard him before, he wasn't a fan of having guests.
True.
So, what have you been doing? What's been your job lately? And
Navigating.
why are you so interested in the murder of the... If you're a navigator, why are you investigating a murder?
To be honest, I have no idea. You should ask my captain. I did say that we were
Oh.
sailors, not detectives.
That's true. You have a captain. Very interested in talking to him. Another person. We could have a whole party in here. So why me exactly? Why are you interested in me?
Apparently you were near the scene of the crime.
Near the scene of the crime? Where was the scene of the crime?
The mycologist's house.
The mycologist's house. Where is that?
He's a navigator. Come on.
I'm-
Shay gives you the exact location perfectly.
I kind of
Assuming
like
you want to
draw a map.
She knows
and
exactly where it
I
is.
draw a incredibly detailed map on the ground
Yes.
right here.
Oh, very interesting. I don't think I was near there. Especially since I don't think here, where we are right now, is very near there at all. So I couldn't have been seen. You must go off whatever witness. Whoever told you that must be lying to you. Clearly.
Or maybe you're lying.
Now, perchance, do you remember anything about the mycologist's house? Or around mycologist's house?
Be honest, I was not there. You should ask my crew.
You were not there. That's interesting. Have you been in there before?
Yeah.
You have? Did you notice anything interesting in there? Something that would catch the eye of a hardened criminal like you?
Lots of mushrooms.
Lots of mushrooms? Do you know what they do?
To be honest, no.
No? Do you know how much they might be worth?
Not a lot.
Not a lot. Interesting. So probably not worth killing over. But
Yeah.
that didn't mean that someone wouldn't. Perhaps there was another motive.
Perhaps.
Maybe it was one of you. Draw the scent off you.
One of us.
Yeah. You said you weren't there.
Maybe it could have been. I don't know. As long as I get paid, I don't complain.
Okay. Certainly seems like the criminal mindset. And
Hey, you seem to be
Grind
better
set.
at this than much of my party. Why don't you join us? And
I would love to.
I will
Oh,
ask
no.
the captain that you are compensated for your efforts.
That would be excellent. But you have to talk to old hard-ass Roland over there.
How close is he to the bars?
What are you trying to look for here?
The keys. Or the
Oh, okay.
revolver.
Los dos. Well, you would need to hard fail a size check for you to be able to reach him. which is going to be very hard for you. That means
What
you need to
about
roll
her?
a 90 or above. For her, on the other hand, well, she's of much thinner frame. She may be able to get through. And, well, it sounds like maybe she already has. Would you like
So-
to entreat her?
Or yeah.
Sorry, you might have cut out.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Well, fire away.
Say, do you think you could slip through those bars and grab the keys? You're a rather scrawny fellow.
That's kind of rude. Well, maybe I could. But why?
Do you want to stay in here?
Well, not particularly, but why would I want to, I thought we were trying to go about this for me to join you. Do you really think escaping from our minds would prevent or would allow us to get an easy escape? What's your plan after I could hypothetically maybe not take any sort of keys to the cell?
Okay, here's the plan. You take the keys and the revolver, get us out. I beat the shit out of him. I go to my employer, and my employer gets him fired.
That sounds like a horrible.
Yeah, she
Sounds
looks
like a horrible plan.
rather like disillusioned by this. She's like, hardened criminal. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, but how are we getting back to your employer? It seems. Where is he?
It's within walking distance.
Within walking distance. Interesting. Now, I'm not sure if I love the idea of having you. He is a very large man. But yes, you do seem like you could take him especially if you have a gun.
I mean, Shay is bigger than him, but yeah.
I am larger than him.
Yes,
guess,
Shay
yes,
is
I was
larger
more-
than pretty much everyone.
I guess I was more thinking about myself versus him, but maybe instead, because beating him up could alert the guards, which we alert any others, and we don't want any. We don't
I
want
thought it
them to
was
hear
like
any
a
crying
shack.
for pain.
Yeah, no, it's
perhaps
kind of just him.
perhaps we could just sneakily get out this way.
I'm pretty sure it's just him, though.
Well, we wouldn't. If your employer was in walking distance, there must be other people around here, no?
I thought it was like fairly out of the way, wasn't it?
The Marshall station, no, it's about in the center.
Oh.
It's a cable car away from the
What?
mycologist reserve, but that's because the mycologist is on the further edge.
I do have an idea. And she takes out a knife with a ivory handle and starts to attempt to pick the lock.
Yeah, she makes pretty short work of it, unless you stop her, Shay.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, then she makes very short work of it, despite having such a impromptu asset. You suppose it's
Actually,
looks something like
at the
that.
mycologist place, that we recently brought back a rather interesting mushroom.
An interesting mushroom? What did it do?
It has properties that are hallucinogenic.
Oh, interesting.
It
Wait,
could
did Shay keep
smell-
That
Did
gets
Shay
my-
keep the gamer jar? Did he keep the gamer jar?
What's
Do you
the
happen
gamer?
to have any of them?
Well,
Oh,
not at the moment.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think Shay would have kept that.
No, I definitely didn't.
Yeah, that was
Ah.
just a mushroom. He was just
Hallucinogenics are quite interesting.
They also sell for quite a lot.
Ooh, quite a lot. Now that really does, keen the old criminal senses it must have in you, right? How much do you think they'd be worth?
Well, it would depend on who you bring it to.
Ooh. But is it worth more to sell or perhaps even to use?
Oh, definitely do not use it.
Do not
Do
use
not.
it.
Absolutely do not.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Is there a particular reason? What do they do besides make you hallucinate?
Well, it would be better on you if you didn't know.
It would be better on me. Well, speaking from someone who's used hallucinogenics before, is this something different or
Yes, it's very different from red sugar.
and in what way?
I think some people fly into a murderous rage, from what I've heard.
Murderous rage? Oh, certainly wouldn't
Yeah,
want
think.
that. I would, yes, not a fan of murderous rages. My murders like to be clean, tidy. So, alright, I have an idea. We sneak out, we make your way back to your party, and we help them investigate. Or perhaps we investigate them. As, as we discussed, everybody should be suspects. Considering you weren't there, anyone they could all be in cahoots together to
Sounds
murder this
reasonable.
poor mycologist.
Sounds reasonable.
Oh, well, sounds like a plan then. Let's go. All right, we need to be very sneaky as to not alert Roland. He is kind of a deep sleeper though, so
We do steal his revolver just in case.
just in case of what?
He wakes up. And what? He's gonna shoot me again.
Okay, well, yes, that's a fair point. Perhaps I'll grab, perhaps we'll grab his keys just to mess with him.
Yes.
So, okay, now on your toes.
Alright, we're
to
stealth.
sneak out.
I'm the fucking noisiest motherfucker.
Oh
out
my
there.
god.
Okay, roll luck.
Creep.
Oh, that's a success, actually.
Let's go.
Okay. Shockingly, he seems to be in a deep enough slumber. You creak through the door, and what's your exact plan here then?
We sneak back to the ship.
Yeah. Okay. And you sneak out, shockingly, really, and away from the sheriff's office.
You are terrible at sneaking.
Well, I'm not exactly the smallest.
He's the
person.
tutorial boss for stealth. So luckily,
Oh, I
you're,
hate this lady.
I am 80 size.
You hate the what, guys?
Good lord.
This lady.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm not actually
work
like
on
playing along with her. I'm just gonna like bait her, and then we can like, I don't know, tie her up at some point. Because I do recognize that there was an ivory knife.
All right, let's make our way back to your party. What do they look like? I saw one of them already.
Well, one's from the ministry. He seems kind of pompous.
Kind of.
Hey,
What kind of? I need a physical description.
He's dark-skinned, curly hair,
Dark
has a bow
skin,
tie.
curly hair with a bow tie. All right, I'll keep an eye out for that.
Our captain looks kind of deranged. Bandages and burns all over. Somehow he's alive. I am not sure how.
What happened to him?
It's a long story.
All right, one I'd prefer not to hear. All right, let's go. Wait, you should be
Okay.
leading. Where are we going?
And I go back to the place.
To your ship?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you've got a good memory, and since you did so well in the navigate roll here, you have no trouble getting back to the ship. Is there anything you'd like to do once you're at the ship, or you're satisfied?
Kind of just like chill there, make sure she doesn't steal anything.
Okay.
Kind of like talk to the other ones, like, this one's dangerous, keep a close eye on her.
All right.
and try and patch up my wounds a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. So they've already someone's already done a patch up job for you. So you've already got a successful first aid, which is why you regained 1 hit point. You'll
Oh, I
need
see.
someone with medicine and some tools to get more healing.
Okay.
So yeah. Shay, mission successful, I suppose, so far.
Okay.
Cool.
Somehow.
You know, it was a recovery. It was a recovery.
He recovered the ball. So let's go back to Keen. And then hopefully we can have everyone meet up before everyone has to go. But I'm not sure if that'll be the case or not. But I would hope so. So Keen, back with you. I'll once again describe the study. The walls of the Bronzewood study have been cleaned since your first visit, no longer slick with fungal residue. The kettle has mercifully been turned off, and that aside, the study is exactly as you left it, disheveled with 5 chairs before the desk. You imagine the greenhouse is also preserved in the same grisly state. Davenport looks at you as you make your rounds, kind of watching you, and
Right.
also inspecting the area himself. He just moves at a markedly slower pace. I have some time before I'm needed.
Of course.
I'd be curious to see your process from another ministry.
Well, seems there was a few. We dropped the chase after a while, so maybe I was seeing if I could go back there and maybe pick up the tracks if they're still around.
Are you a tracker?
Not particularly, but well, it's worth a shot, I think.
He kind of has like the same half smile as always.
Would you happen to be one?
Unfortunately not. I don't think that that's something that would come up very often in a boring life of office work and meetings.
No. But I think it's worth a shot.
Skills.
Seeing where our little rascals went would lead us a long way.
Well, you wouldn't want to get lost in the reserve now, would you?
No, I'm sure not. But there
Well,
should be a hefty few tracks to lead me back to where I came from.
I bid you luck then. Would you like me to accompany?
Why not?
Fair enough.
Maybe you can show me a thing or two about how you get this style of work done.
Fair enough. He starts stepping out with you. Are you planning on just going straight out to track, or do you want to investigate the scene itself a little bit?
I guess I can take a quick look around the scene.
All right.
Can I spot hidden? Yeah.
Would you like to push that?
That was I rolled that to Kiefer, but that was a 99. Yes, I would like to.
Actually, okay.
I'll follow my old path through the window.
All right, so you'll follow your old path through the window and back, and you can't help but notice that the window has a lock on it. All the other windows are locked, but this one has been unlocked. It doesn't seem to be picked. There's no scuffling of tools around the edges. Same with the front door. You recall it actually wasn't locked at all when you entered, was it?
Interesting.
So whoever went in here clearly had keys. Beyond that, the body is still in its same state. There's still a stab wound. It's covered in this strange, like green fungal dust, which makes you not terribly interested in going near it. We can blame Hayes for that one. Other than that, the dossier has been taken, and yeah, the floor is freshly waxed, which makes it difficult to find any imprints of shoes or boots.
Seems as if someone had a few keys for this place. Might narrow down our list of possible suspects.
Of keys. Interesting.
There's a lot of
to my knowledge, so
in this game.
Well,
I don't think I've even been afforded one of those.
Do you know who would have some around here?
Well, I suppose, as far as keys for everyone, the custodians, that could be a
Of course.
potential suspect. In fact, I'm aware that some of the custodians live off in the direction of your tracks. The
Mm.
reserve border does something of a zigzag.
Ah,
Perhaps you could look there.
I'll make sure to check through on that.
Hmm.
Maybe, well, not picked. Could still be our little criminal, but seems a bit less
You
likely.
described him as something of a monster.
Yes, one with keys now.
Perhaps
And
not
an
quite as
ivory
heavy-handed
blade.
as you'd expected.
Well, shall we
Ivory is
continue on?
optimistic, isn't it? He follows along with you as you walk out into the grass. What do you make of the murder? Have you ever had to deal with such things in your time?
I've had to deal with some sorts of, well, it's been a few times where some scuffles over either materials or discoveries have led to my ministry, part of the ministry becoming involved, mainly over more the discovery side. So
I
I've
was
seen my fair share of
where you found your expertise. I suppose you must have started as a enforcer then.
well, a few connections got me up a little bit faster.
Yet nonetheless, you seem to have a handle on yourself, according to everyone else.
Yes, well, seen a few things. It's spent a
Are
little
you
bit
the
of
one
time out in the field.
who placed the bullets within our culprit?
Yes.
Crack shot.
Well, quite a few went wide.
Why is he flirting with him?
Shall we continue on down, though?
Why not? Yeah, so you continue following the tracks. Why don't I have you roll tracking right now?
Hang on. Where is
Good
tracking?
luck.
You know what? I'm going to throw the luck in.
All right. So for tracking, so you follow the tracks through the forest, and you're able to luckily retrace your steps. It's difficult enough, really. You'll need a hard success if you want to be able to go further than that. But you now have access to the entirety of the chase if you'd like to review any aspects of that. The entirety of the scene where the chase occurred. Well, you certainly know your way around. Are you sure you aren't the one who did it?
Well, can I go back to one of the spots where I shot our culprit with a bullet?
Yes, you can. You can find both, in fact. So you push through the verdant greenery, past the fence and everything, and you find the turn where you manage to nail him or them.
Is it a is there a small pool of blood there? Or pool of red, I guess.
Yes, further on you can find a pool of blood. Yes, you can find the ejected casing matching your firearm, and then you can find a pool of blood somewhat later on.
These don't, well, appear out of nowhere.
Davenport picks up a few of the casings along the way. You certainly don't seem to have any hesitation about shooting.
Well, don't exactly want anyone else getting caught up in this stabbing.
Interesting.
And they didn't seem too hesitant to, go for one at least.
Do any harm to any of your friends?
Believe one got a little nick.
Fascinating. So, would you like to continue forward? So there's
sure.
definitely blood. If you'd like to inspect the blood, it helps.
I would like to do that.
Okay. It'll help you get further along the trail.
Okay. Medicine or first aid?
No, I won't make you do that.
Okay.
Since you made a good connection, in fact, it'll help you track him further, or track them further. So you follow the blood, and Um, the blood itself is definitely like human-ish. There's a lot of it though. Um, of course, you shot the thing multiple times, so it's certainly something that it's able to even stay standing. But yeah, it makes it not too terribly difficult to follow. You come up and across the roaring creek and reach up to the wall, which towers above you with its cemented bricks and mortar, providing a rather imposing barrier.
Does there appear to be some sort of way to get around it or up on it? Wasn't
the
there
border
a
of
set of
the
stairs?
There's not a set of stairs, but you could
Okay.
climb it if you wanted to.
What's my climb? Oh, where is that? I can try and climb it. Got to through all my checks so far. Ooh, okay.
Push
Well,
the roll. Davenport will kind of just let you climb. He's not going to do anything.
I can do this.
Okay. You can. So you
All of
climb
this
up
day today.
and over the wall. It's a pretty tough climb. But you've seen worse. So you climb over and stand on the top.
Oh, I gotta
where,
go.
Oh, okay. See
Oh,
ya.
bye.
I'll see you guys later.
Sorry. Bye.
Bye bye.
See you around.
We'll try to finish up once Keen's done. And then you guys will have some food for the thought for the next session. You can formulate some plans of attack. I don't know, however you wish to pursue it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you climb up and over, and you can find the explosion of blood from where you shot them as they were scaling the wall as well.
Right.
Which kind of flares across. And then you can climb down if you'd like.
Do I have to roll a separate check for that?
No, you don't.
Okay. Good.
That would be pretty annoying. So you climb down, and there's a large pool of blood at the bottom. A lot of it has been dried up and soaked into the soil at this point. And you can see some scuffle marks from footprints as they make their way through the more wet terrain. They're rather large. In fact, there's some almost like hand-like prints there, but they're much larger and almost inhuman, you could say. The feet are normal-sized feet.
Okay.
Although you're somewhat surprised by that fact. What would you like to do from here?
Can I try and track them further?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a separate roll? I take it.
No. Or yes, it will be. This part of the reserve is going to be significantly more difficult to track through. And what is the value of a life to you? I'm curious.
Oh,
Davenport is here. He must
next to
have
me.
climbed the wall.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Well, I would put it rather highly. I mean, they don't come, well, they're rather plentiful, but they don't come cheap to those who have. It's not exactly something you can go back on.
I suppose not. It's interesting what sailors think of it. It's
what would
really
that
about
be?
the soul, isn't it? While it's within your body, it makes a life. But the moment it leaves, it becomes a trade good. And up until that point, every single devil or ape or anyone you encounter will simply, all of those higher beings, you could call them, simply view it as something to be cultivated, a crop.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly puts things into perspective, how small human life can be.
It's funny how that works.
Do you ever think of what the judgments think of over in their divine thrones? They have souls as well, they say.
very valuable goods back on the sea.
Interesting.
Judgment's eggs.
I don't know much about them. Keep
They
my
also
knowledge
say-
mostly in the skies.
They also say that criminals are some of the few who do understand the value of life. Perhaps a ministry agent such as yourself, of course, and myself wouldn't understand it. They call them crimson promises. A life for
Really?
life, supposedly.
I haven't heard of such a thing.
If you invoke them, then strange things can happen over the value of that life. They are oaths sworn in secrecy.
Interesting.
I'm curious if you've ever seen someone who you think might know of them. In any case, they're very valuable for sky captains. They can be passed on. Sometimes they're even considered contraband goods.
Oh,
I
Well.
suppose that may be above your pay grade.
yes, I think it would be. It's not something I have to, deal with ever. But, that's in your field?
Not quite, but it does bring me an element of interest.
Hmm.
To
Well.
consider the value of ourselves versus such uncaring, enigmatic things as we've found in the skies.
It is fair. Well, the risks of the skies are not something I'm completely unaware of, but their horrors have, so far, for the most part, escaped me. So,
Good. You continue through the forest and push past the greenery. You're lucky that you don't encounter anything here. Really,
yeah.
the hard success was a pretty big roll right there. And you follow the trail, moving through, passing through a meadow filled with powder blue mushrooms swaying gently in the breeze. Pass by a cave, colored like a mixing palette. And eventually, you follow the trail, kind of in a small loop, and then all of a sudden, the blood just disappears.
Would you look at
However,
that?
now that is interesting.
Wounds don't normally just heal like that, especially not, bullet wounds.
He narrows his eyes. Is there a logical explanation for this?
I don't think there's a logical explanation for what happened that night. Maybe it's best to, accept that if someone can have such physical prowess, they might also, have other secrets to them.
Curious. And so
Does,
life finds a way. Yes.
And do the footsteps also end here, or could we not particularly
You
follow them?
lose the trail around here. It's they don't disappear, but they kind of they fade.
Yeah.
Much basically around the same area.
Okay. Certainly something strange we found ourselves up against. Not sure I'd like to
Strange indeed.
face it up close.
Do you think it is a horror of the mythos?
Could only presume so. I don't know what else could do something like this.
That is the question we always ask ourselves. It can be frightening what human ingenuity is capable of.
That's true, but well, we only have our own imagination to sate our thirst for knowledge here.
I see.
Shall we go back then? I don't think this is going to offer us too much more.
Indeed, I think that may be wise. So he will follow you as you make your way back without any trouble. So you've got a hard success, so you're able to make your way back as well. You climb back over the wall. I'm not going to make you reroll for it because I don't think that there's any fun story elements to be had from that. And make your way over. So you pass all the way back to the cottage, and around this time, we can say that everyone's characters have sort of returned to the same place. As Hayes was coming back, Shay is gone, but that's all right because his character is also gone. And Adja and Hamish, you guys were returning as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys all reconvene at the mycologist cabin, and just before this, just as you're returning, Keen Davenport will take his leave and head out.
All right.
It seems like our monster can stop its own bleeding.
Peculiar.
Flash.
What's happened to our good friend Shay?
Well,
Oh well, she's not here, right? But
No.
how do we skin what happens? Like,
Hayes, are you here? Well, it's fine because Shay is
I
at
am
the
here,
boat
yeah.
or at the ship, right? Okay, yeah.
so
Yeah, they're asking what
Once
happened.
again, we're missing one.
what exactly happened? Tell me.
With the prison.
Sorry?
Yeah, well, I mean, we went to go talk to that lady, and, well, I wanted to say, I did my best, but, one thing led to another, and, Shay got shot in the chest, I had to run.
Damn, man's gonna get himself killed.
Right after I found him again.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Can't
did
keep
he-
himself out of a scuffle, can he? Okay, well.
We'll have to speak about this with Davenport. I don't know. I mean, the sheriff, I mean, well, this is just too much right now.
Yeah.
So you weren't able to speak to the prisoner?
No.
All right then. Well, at the very least, we managed to glean some information from our associate, the ornithologist. I tell him what we found. And it's not much, but it is something. And it does have the keys may be of particular interest, because I seem to recall you, well, let's just say Keen said this to me.
Yeah.
Keen, he somehow managed to access the windows.
Yes. The window and the door were unlocked. It didn't seem to be picked.
I think our next lead would have to be these custodians, because according to the ornithologist, these keys belong to them. So if we were to speak to the custodians and see if any of them might be peculiar, then we might be able to discern at least something. We're not out of leads yet. We definitely have a lot more to ask for. Aside from the custodians, yes, but
their housing is somewhat close to where our suspect fled, or
the custodians.
Our little murderer, yes.
Hmm.
So it should be on our way.
Well, we'll put down some of the people who live close to the mycologist as possible witnesses, but I think our primary suspects would be anyone who lives near the custodians' residences, and perhaps the custodians themselves. So I suppose that will be what we tackle next.
Sounds good to me.
Well,
All right.
I'm sure we should be able to figure something out here, and I'm sure
And-
our little Shay isn't going to be moving anytime soon.
I hope
Well,
not.
he may be dead.
Nah, he's not dead.
Well,
Some braving.
Right.
either way,
I've seen him.
I'm sure he'll
endure
stay
worse.
put.
All right. Well,
You sure?
suppose that's it then.
Dead bodies don't tend to move, right, guys?